All right. Hello, hello, hello. It has been a little bit of a minute. Much love, respect, and appreciation to any of those who are going to pull up to the scene for this live stream. Much love, much love, much love. Today is pretty much just a variety of videos. There's not an exact context to it except for what I wrote, which is this is the world that we live in. Because some of these videos are pretty interesting. One particularly, which I ended up finding out just recently. Again, didn't know anything about it when it first came up, but we're going to get into that one when we hit that last video. But anyways, we're going to get directly into this vid. Yo, what is up, Pink? What is up? What is up? What is up? And we're going to see what this lady is talking about here, right?
I'm calling Trump on you, you illegal mother.
Wow, I'm really disappointed in you, ma'am. After all, we're both in this together. You're in a press group, I'm in a press group. You're a minority, I'm a minority.
What's up,
I thought
James?
we were both the same. Except, of course, you're uneducated, I'm educated.
What's up, Golden?
Because only an uneducated person would go straight there, express themselves the way you do. And see, you do this every day, except this time somebody had a camera and recorded you. I've been saying
What's up,
all along,
Rashida?
it's going to be a long 4 years of the MAGA group hating on Latinos, but it's very disappointing when the hate also comes from the Black community. Of course, I know that not all the people in the Black community feel the way you do. I also know that not all of them are uneducated, unkind, and downright ghetto. But I digress.
Wow.
Pick up a book sometimes and you'll realize that you are just as suppressed as we are. In the United States, unless you look like them, you're also on the chopping block.
That's quite hilarious. I like how she threw the ghetto part directly in there. My main question, what was it? James said you good? Yeah, I'm good. I'm good. I'm good. I pretty much was just focused on doing videos and things of that sense and and whatnot. So that's pretty much what I was doing at the moment, which we do have on the second coming channel. We got those videos along with the live streams directly up there, and all of those types of things. So we all good, we all good. But the interesting part about this is that she made sure to record this part here. So obviously people are driving, right? One person is recording, the other person is talking directly out the side of the window. Usually, whenever anything like this occurs, it was a road rage situation and somebody got cut off. From at least my angle, my point of view of witnessing things like this taking place, it's usually road rage. Usually somebody cut somebody off and they didn't like it, so they pulled down the window to sit up there and let the other person know, like, yo, why'd you cut me off? Like, this is problematic, da da da, all that other type of good stuff. I would really like to know what happened before this woman rolled down her window and said what it was that she stated. Because I want people to understand this is not anything normally that Black people would just so happen to say. Black people have to be fed up in order to really go at somebody. We have to be fed up. We just have to be fed up. If you ever hear somebody Black talking about, I'm about to sit up there and call ICE, da da da, Black people are fed up. There has to be a specific reason. This is not anything that Black people naturally do, just waking up out of the blue like, I want to harass somebody that's Hispanic and threaten to get the Trump administration in the call ICE. No, that's not even how we move. Something would have had to taken place in order for something like that to happen. Like, that's how that works, right? Yeah, I don't know what's going on there. Somebody trying to pull up and throw a cash app in there. Yeah, we don't do that. We don't do that. Like I said, I don't even know who you are. I don't even know what you're about. Yeah, we don't do that. Don't pull up here trying to throw your cash app directly in my comment section and and all the other type of nonsense. We don't do that. Like I said, I don't go to nobody else's channels or live streams or do any foolishness like that. Don't do that here. Like I said, respectfully. But again, like I said, I find it very interesting how she wanted to try to say that we're all in this together. No, we're not. No, we're not. The Latin. This is how I want to sit up there and just specifically state this. Anybody out there that is Latin, Hispanic, whatnot, or whatever, a lot of your demographic voted for this administration. A lot of your demographic voted for Trump specifically to be directly in office. Um, if I remember correctly, it was first Caucasian, second it was Hispanic, and then everybody else fell directly underneath. But those two demographics are the main ones that got Trump directly into office. So for her to sit up there and say that we're in this together, no, we're not. No, we're not. Black people didn't ask for any of this to take place. We tried to warn people. We tried to tell people. We tried to help people steer clear of a lot of these things, and everybody wanted to do what it is that they wanted to do. And black people are not on the shopping block. We've just always been here. We've always been going through this. So you're just the new flavor of the month at the moment of time. And once everything is said and done, and they go through, all of the turns and windy roads with every other group, because everybody gets their turn on the wheel, then it's going to revert right back to Black Americans the same way that it's always done in this country. I don't know why people think that, oh, you see how we're getting picked on. Guess what, Black people? You guys are next. Nah, that's not how that works. We've always been next. We've been first, we've been in the middle, and we've been last. We've been in all three areas. This is just brand new for a lot of other people out there because, people thought that if they voted, if they walked, if they talked, if they acted, if they went side by side with a certain demographic, then, everything would be completely fine and dandy. But people are messing around and finding out. And this is what you got at the moment of time. So, like I said before, I'm tired of people trying to lump Black people in with everybody else's situations and problems because this is not our situation and a problem. We got to deal with stuff irregardless. You have to deal with this because these are the choices that you decided to make, even though we told you not to do this. Right? It's crazy work. What is up, Tippy? Tippy's in here early. Look at you. I'm proud of you, Tippy. I am proud of you. Look at you. Look at you. Look at you. Uh, Shout out to all 51 people that are currently in the stream at this moment of time. So I just want to, get that out of there because sometimes people come in and come out and, different things like that. Nick said Hispanics openly work against the agenda of other Hispanics. Yeah. And I've gone over that before in other live streams as well. I've read off, at least a few paragraphs or whatnot or pages directly from some of the books that I have, even specifically dealing with Cubans and how it is that, they went against their own Cubans that were trying to flee the exact same circumstances. But they wanted to deny them access just simply because of the complexion of their skin. Right. Like I said, it's crazy work out here. But again, even dealing with a lot of these things, people want to say that Black Americans are the most racist directly out here, yada yada yada, all this other type of good stuff, right? But that's only happening because it's a selling point for a lot of people who grift, for a lot of people who go by the whole fold of being hyper conservative and hyper Republican and things of that nature, especially when it deals with those who are minority and or Black in that area, because they have to talk and speak a certain type of way. And they have to go at their own people, quote unquote, in order to be the talking mouthpiece and get the numbers and to, get the subscribers and the views and the donations and everything else that they need. Because if they drop all of that verbiage, they're losing out on everything. That's like sponsorship, that's content, that's money, that's support. So they have to keep this going in order to be able to make some type of money. And they dare not to go against or to fight against those who are putting money directly, in their hands, enabling them to live the lifestyle that they live. Right? It's crazy work. 100% diabolical. Yo, Nikki, what is up? What is up? What is up? What is up? What is going on? What is going on? Tippy said, thank you for acknowledging. That's some crazy work. Yo, what's up, Ty? What is up? What is up? What is up? What is going on? So now we got this next video. And this is dealing with one of the sisters. I forgot who it was, but this is from, I think the show was called The Real. But the main thing that I want to try to highlight, if I can, I'm not sure if you guys wait. Can I see the comment? I'm trying not to have the bottom part actually show for me. And that's a little bit difficult. So I actually, well, on your end, you might be able to read it. Let me just try to go to it real quick so I can read it off to you guys. Because this woman said this, and then I'm going to play the video. This woman said, LMAO, man, I don't care. I don't care. I don't care. The whole situation was very strange, but people thought that she was black, talking about Rachel Dolezal, right? People thought that she was black until it came out that she wasn't. She was doing a lot of great things for the black people in the communities she was a part of. And after she became a pariah, she's not able to do those things anymore. And those people are not benefiting from her work. Like I said, the whole situation was very strange, but she was not hurting anyone, right? And that was stated directly from a black or melanated woman, right? So let's go directly into this clip.
What does being black mean to you? And why? Why do you want to be black?
Well, I think that, sometimes how we feel is more powerful than how we're born.
Okay.
And blackness can be defined as philosophical, cultural, biological, a lot of different things,
right.
a lot of different people. And I think you do have to kind of like walk the walk if that's who you are.
Okay.
So you feel that you walk the walk of a black woman?
Absolutely.
Okay. So, go ahead, get your
No,
line.
I just want to say, could you expand on that?
Well, I mean, I think, walking the walk in terms of philosophical and cultural, like what I was talking about as far as the broader definition, the
What's up, Keith?
Pan-African definition of blackness, I think you're talking about then changing it to a black woman. Is there a singular experience? Is there one
Absolutely.
experience?
Absolutely. There are opportunities that I might not get that you can have only because of the color of my skin, not because I'm a smart, beautiful, amazing mother, wife, and entrepreneur. Even as successful as I am now, there are lots of doors that I can't walk into that you can definitely walk into. So I just really want to know, like, have you ever experienced anything like that?
Right. So we heard that. So this is just a question that I have, right? And again, she put herself directly in there, and I found it a little bit strange because I'm like, I get it, but it's like, to make that point, I would want a level playing field, which would be an ordinary black woman, not somebody who is a part of this music family where y'all multimillionaires. And because it's crazy to say that even with all of the millions of dollars that she has, that Rachel Dolezal can still get into doors and areas that she can never get into. Huh? So I'm a little bit confused by that, because we know how the rich and the elite basically are. We know how, if you already have those connections, you can just pretty much get anything in the world. Rachel Dolezal is not on a TV show. For all intents and purposes, she don't even have a TV show, right? She don't got a record deal. She don't got this. She don't got that. She don't got anywhere near the type of money or the fame that this woman has at all. We can at least say that, right? And the other thing that I want to bring up, because of the lady who had the comment underneath the thread, who said that Rachel Dolezal was doing a lot of good things for the community that she was specifically in, right? I don't know if she was or wasn't, right? I can only look at the point of view of other people. My thing is that after, if just say if Rachel Dolezal, with the amount of, I guess you could say, fabrication and lies that she was putting directly out there, or her own belief that she was a black woman, if she was, with a little bit of light that she was doing something positive for said black community that she was a part of or in, now that she is a pariah, now that she is no longer there, who is now the actual black woman who is, or black women who are going to take her place and to do the things needed to be done that should have already been done? Because that's the main question that I always ask whenever it is that people are like, all right, we got to get these people directly out of here. We got to stop them from doing this, stop them from doing that, and all this other type of stuff. Who do you specifically have to replace, to make sure that the necessary things that are going to happen and that should happen for the black community are going to set up to happen? Because as I sit up there, let me just scroll back real quick and see if I can get a roll back. I'm trying to get all the I can't get every single woman there, but what I can sit up there and tell you is that none of these women directly up there that's talking about Rachel Dolezal, they're not going to step directly into that place and hold whatever responsibility that needs to be held. They're not going to do it. They're going to do the basic everyday is like, okay, I'm, I got these millions of dollars. I'm a celebrity. Let me try to put my celebrity somewhere so I can make even more millions of dollars. They're going to do for self. They're not about to be sitting up there like, I'm going to stop being a celebrity and I'm going to be in this role to take responsibility for, everything that's here because this is what I want to sit up and do because I love and care about the Black community. That's all I'm sitting up there saying. Because I'm just, like I said, I'm just trying to figure out. And I always ask these questions. And I've asked these questions before, even when it didn't deal with Rachel Dolezal. I asked this when people were talking about Brother Tariq Nasheed, when people were talking about Dr. Umar, when people were talking about Charleston White and the many others directly out there. And the main question I always ask is like, all right, people hate and dislike these people so much, and y'all want to, try to get them up out of here. But I'm like, who do you have specifically to fulfill that role, or who are the minis of people that you have to fulfill that role on the list right now that are automatically going to take action and just get things done like that? That's that's all I'm trying. That's the question that I have. Yo, Hack, what is up? What is up? What is up? What is up? USMC, what is up? You said at least we know she's not MAGA, unlike a bunch of Black people, especially on YouTube. Stretch said white people have to prove to us that they are not racist. Tippy said, has she ever experienced colorism because of Black women? This is ridiculous. Stretch said no, they're scared to stand up. Michael said, didn't Rachel run her local chapter of the NAACP? I think she did. She had a position somewhere at a moment in time, and then when everything basically came through, everything was done. Right. And at least to my knowledge, I haven't heard hide nor hair of the person that has replaced her that took on that role after she was basically ousted from that position. I don't know what that person is doing. I haven't seen people highlight that individual. I haven't seen people show forth a track record or keep track of the things that are going on. Like I said, nobody knows what's going on now. Nobody knows, what's going on at all. Because I can tell you, I don't. Stretch said they won't have a job. USMC said, I think so. Let me try to roll back. Nikki, I'm sorry. Nikki said maybe she was Black in her past life. Yeah. You said we are the original. Yeah. Tippy said she can wash that tan and boom, her privilege is back. True. That is true. But yeah, like I said, that's the only question I always have. Like, who do you have in position once you get rid of these people that you say that you don't like? Who do you have that is going to take over that position that's going to do it? Because we can all complain about somebody, but we know at the end of the day, guess what? We're not going to raise our hands to take their position, to take that responsibility, to take the reins of that whole situation and do the things that we know that need to be done. A lot of people are not built for that responsibility. A lot of people are not built to be specifically in that role, right? So that's why a lot of people aren't. But I don't know. Maybe it's just me. So next, we're gonna go to let me see. Is it playing? Okay, there we go. So next, we're gonna go to this video. Some people were able. So shout out to some people who saw the video. Who actually came through to the channel and actually saw the video of this woman as she's going to talk about the situation that she was able to see. And for some other people directly out there, this may be new to you, maybe you've not seen it before. So we're going to play it and talk directly about this and look at some of your opinions about it.
Okay, so they locked my baby daddy up for child support, my oldest. I was so mad. I went to court and they had him in Well, let me tell y'all from the beginning. So I went to the courtroom and I sat down. And the bailiff came running over and he was like, "You can't sit there, you can't sit there." And I was like, "Why?" And he was like, "All the men on this side, all the females on this side." And I started looking around the courtroom like, God dang. So they separate the females and the males. And I thought that was strange. And I just thought it was strange. So while I was sitting there waiting for them to call my name, I was matching this man with this woman, just, biding my time. So when they called my name and my baby daddy name, they brought him out in an orange jumpsuit and handcuffs and shackles. And that pissed me off even more. I was so mad. I told Your Honor, I let her say what she was going to say. Then I was like, "Your Honor, I want all child support struck. I want current, arrears, and future struck today." And the whole courtroom went crazy. It was just like everybody was talking. She had to hit the gavel and she was like, boom, 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 boom. And then she was like, "Do you understand what you're saying?" And I was like, "Yes." And so they took me outside the courtroom. They have two rooms on either side of the hallway, right after, as soon as you go out the courtroom. So they brought me in there. And I was sitting in there for a long time. The bailiff came in and he was like, "Is anybody making you feel uncomfortable? Or is anybody threatening you? Or do you feel like, you're under duress to do this?" And I was like, "No, no, no. My daughter loves her daddy. And y'all not keeping him. I want him out of there today. And I want all child support struck." So he left back out. He came back in about 10 minutes later. He was like, "Let me see your ID. I need to see your ID." And I was like, "For real?" So I showed him my ID and stuff. So when he left back out, I was in there for a while. And then he came back and I signed some papers and stuff. And when I came out the courtroom, it was men standing outside the courtroom. They was like, "Can you talk to my baby mama, please?" And I was like, I don't know what to say to your baby mama, but, it just wasn't for me. My daughter loved her daddy. I didn't give a damn what he had going on. My daughter loved her daddy. I didn't need his money. I needed him, as far as my daughter was concerned. So, yeah, that happened.
So we heard that, right? So that black woman stated that they were going to court, and I guess because the brother was in like the rears or what have you, because I've tried to explain this, and many other black men on social media have explained this as well. Um, that if somebody specifically black is back in child support or whatnot, whatever, the courts or whoever can decide that, oh, we're just going to sit up there and lock you up as if you're a criminal, as if you stole, as if you committed some type of great act against another person, which they didn't, right? They're just back in payments, right? And she saw him in an orange jumpsuit, looked directly over and was like, "Yo, this is crazy. It's like, this is not what this is supposed to be." It's like, nah, it's like, my daughter loves this man. Like, she needs her father. So like, this is what is best, for the family and all this other type of stuff. She was like, "Yo, we ain't about to sit up there and do this. My daughter is more important. The relationship that they have is more important. I need y'all to just get rid of anything that y'all trying to do and let him go now. Let him go now." I just wanna hold on. My bad. Had to sit up and pick that up. Um, and she basically got all of those things dropped. I'm not sure if they instantly just released him, because you know how they try to do, oh, we got to do paperwork, oh, it's the weekend and all this other type of stuff, so we're just going to leave him directly in here up until Monday or whatnot or whatever. But I want to say that this is one of the few examples of a black woman doing this, knowing the fact that the child has a very great relationship with the father, knowing the fact that the father has a great relationship with the child, and how much that means for the growth, the nurturing, and the development of that child. And she herself, no matter what it is that they went through in their relationship, she was like, "Yo, whatever we went through, it is what it is. The child, my daughter, is the main thing that means the most, and you mean the most to her. So because of that, we're going to just sit up there and resolve this like a whole different type of way. This is one of the few rare examples of something like this happening and taking place, because usually what will end up inevitably taking place is that the mother will be, in an emotional type of arena, and she'll be like, you didn't want to be with me, you want to be with all these other women and all this other type of good stuff. So because I can't be with you and all this other type of stuff, you ain't about to be with nobody, so I'm about to control the situation and put you away. Crazy work, diabolical work, robbing the child of their father, of that whole relationship. And then when the child or the children start going out of whack, it's like people are trying to figure out why. But the why is because you have a lot of women that opt to not think logically on the situation and how this could, in an extent, longevity wise, could have a negative bearing directly on the child and the growth and the rearing and the nurturing of that child, because people are too caught up, directly in their emotions and how specifically it is, that they feel. Like I said, and that's why I said directly in the video, shout out to this woman for having the logic, for being void of the emotions. Shout out to her for not robbing her daughter of a father that obviously means the world directly to her, that she will actually pay attention to her. Shout out to her, because this is something that more than that did not get listed. Shout out to her for also doing this so that the father can be present, which will also ward off other predators that would potentially, look at her as prey. Because as I've said it before, as long as you have a protector there in some type of way or form, 9 times out of 10, things are not going to take place and happen to the child or the children. Right. So, shout out to her. And I'm pretty sure underneath her video, wherever the original video was placed, I'm pretty sure there's a lot of women saying a lot of horrible things directly about her and to her, about the situation, and trying to call her all types of names, because I've seen it before. I've seen it before, because a lot of people just can't put, their emotions past, the situation, or at least put their emotions to the side and deal with the most important things. Ms. Stretch said that the courts want that money to make money off of child support. That's facts. Swan said, unfortunately, some states like Ohio don't see it like this. That's true. Bushido said, facts. Nikki said, my daddy was in the newspaper in the 90s because of how much child support he owed. He never gave my mother anything before he died. That's tough. That is tough, But the other thing that also takes place and happens is that you have a lot of dudes out here, and I've covered that before. You got a lot of dudes out here who don't want to be responsible, specifically for what it is that they do. It's not indicative of every single black male directly out there, because I know black males that are my friends that I've known for years. Like my boy Jarrell, he is a single father. The mother did not want to have anything to do with her son at all, and that man has been raising his son by himself since day one. And I've gone to school, so it's like I've known this brother since high school. Right. So I've been able to basically see him from like there, when there was like no child involved, to the middle when everything, just got started, to now where he is at the man that he is, at the father that he is at this moment in time. Like I said, handling a responsibility, not asking her for no type of money, not trying to find her and put her on child support or throw her in jail. Like I said, the way that men deal with situations, and other people deal with situations is a little bit different. But I'm also bringing up, one of my friends to, pretty much show that you do have guys out here that will bear the brunt of the situation and deal with, that situation pretty much as it is. To put it to on the same level, my mother, as I've commonly, I just actually talked to her today. My mother never had my father on any type of child support, nothing like that. Never. She never badmouthed that man or anything like that ever, and especially never in front of me. Even if she did, she never did it in front of me, right? So I had a clean slate in a sense, actually first meeting my father and having conversations and whatnot with him. The only thing that was there on the plate is pretty much my feelings and my emotions, right? As the child. But other than that, my mom allowed me a clear field to judge him as he is, not from her perspective or her emotions or her relationships or or anything like that. Um, so yeah, sometimes you have people directly out here who don't want to be responsible for the part that they take in the creation of life, and it be like that. Trust me, I tell you all the time. I am a product single parent household. As people like to say, the statistic. So trust me, I understand. I understand. I don't know. Tippy said that's cool. She didn't do that. Also, want to point out the origins of child support came from men. Women don't pass laws. Men do. Nikki said it's not always about her feelings, right? Uh, yo, Mr. Dorsey, what is up? What's up? He said women are toxic. Tippy said that's insane. They wanted her ID, trying to intimidate her. Yeah, it's like that's the craziest part because for them it's weird. You got to understand, for them it's weird to have a black woman basically state that you don't want to put a black man in child support and also keep him directly in jail, because again, that's the system for all intents and purposes. How they make it seem is that they are there to protect black women from black men. So they're like, whoa, 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 you're a black woman and you don't want to throw we already got him locked up. We already got the jumpsuit on him. You want him free? You want him actually out and about? You don't want him, locked up in our safety and our care? You don't want that. And we're still going to pay you. You're still going to get money. So it's like, why would you want him out? It's like, that doesn't make any type of sense. Like that's a little bit weird. Let me see your ID real quick. I need to make sure that you're actually the person that you said it. Like I said, it's crazy. Like I said, this is how they act when you start, in a sense, turning against them or disagreeing with their notion of what it is that they feel to be, true or not. Nikki Boo said love. Mr. Dorsey said the woman then insists on trying to force the dude to grow up. Maybe he will never grow up. She picked him. Julie Mala. Let me see. Oh, you're responding, Mr. Dorsey. Okay, I got you. Tippy said exactly. I bet it was a man asking her for the ID. I mean, either which way it goes, the main people now, Tippy, you are correct. It is men that created the system, but it is women that profit directly from the system by choice. Because as I stated directly to you by the example of my boy Jarrell, he don't got his son's mother on child support. He's not trying to chase her down, trying to throw her directly, in jail. Even by the example of my mother. My mother never did any of that. She's not trying to chase nobody around, throw them in jail, trying to go do this back and forth and all this. It is what it is. Whatever situation it is, we're going to sit up there and deal with it. That's the attitude that I've always gotten from my mother, and that's the attitude that I have. It's like whatever situation it is, we're just going to sit up there and deal with that situation as is, and it's either the situation is going to get dealt with or the situation is not going to get dealt with. It's either we're going to fix the situation or we're not going to fix it. That's it. That's it. And I feel, not even feel, if more people went by life with that thought process, at least half of the things that people go through on a day-to-day basis would be a lot different versus trying to chase and directly blame somebody else. You know how much energy and time that takes to try to chase somebody around who don't want to be there or whatnot. That's a lot of time wasted. That's more time that can be spent directly with that child or building with that child, building yourself up as that parent so you can be even more stable because you have to deal with the situation of which you created. So that's how I look at it. I look at it from the point of view of how my mom went about the situation and how she wasn't complaining about men. She wasn't trying to do this, that, and the third. Like I said, all of the new stuff that I've always told y'all about that I see women doing online where they're complaining about men saying that they dogs and this and that. That's weird to me because that's not what I grew up hearing. I grew up in a house where you had my mother, my aunt, my grandmother, right? And then you, of course, you got the men in the family. They would, come over pretty frequently, especially when dinner is prepared by my grandmother. They would come over for like meatloaf and and all that other type of stuff. But that's not the types of conversations that I grew up around. I didn't grow up around black women just bashing and hating black men for whatever reasons. That again, it's weird to me. So that's why I always have to side eye a lot of these conversations and threads that I see online by way of black women because I'm like, I don't even know what this is. Like, this is foreign to me because it is. Like, it's just, it's just weird. What was it? Mr. Dorsey said most dudes were not interested in starting a family. Circumstances made them unwilling victims. When a man suggests going to the doctor, he is considered a monster. So he then stays away from her. Nikki said that was crazy. Dorsey said the woman then insisted on trying to force the dude to grow up. Okay, I think I did read that part. Did I read that part? Yeah, I read that part earlier. Yeah. Crypto said black women love. Nikki said I would never. You also said that that's how a lot of us look at it. Tippy said men profit off of it too. That's why I think men dealing with child support should go after the men that created child support. All I see is men blaming women. They didn't create the system. This is the thing that I'll sit up there and say, Tippy. You're see by the profiting that I'm talking about is that you have the two parents in the situation. I'm not talking about the overarching system. Black men have no control over the overarching. There's as a black man, there's nothing I can do about that child support system, right? There is two factors, male and female, that are part of the system that go directly at it. Those groups have to be the ones to basically step away from that. But even if you step away, like I told people before, if you have a child, let me just preface this by saying this, and I try to go over this again. If you have a child, I don't care if your child is like 40, I don't care if they're 10, I don't care if they're newborn. The moment in time that your child has a social security and a birth certificate, they are owned by the United States. So even if at a moment in time you decide that you don't want to, as a woman, go after child support, the state can still be like, oh, we're going to make some rules and regulations. You say that you don't want to do it, but we're still going to enforce it and we're going to do it. So we're going to look on who it is that you decided to have this kid with, because case in point, like I said, even given the circumstance that I was in at a moment in time, going back to Detroit, right? And I told y'all about the situation, rehashed over a multitude of times. Long story short, I want to say it should have been Michigan during the time came up with some type of law where in order for the mothers of these kids to get money, I think it was like SNAP or government benefits, they had to put the father on a birth certificate, or they had to let the state or whoever know who the father specifically was. So somehow, some way, they're going to force the hand of women, more specifically black women, in order to get the father and place him directly in jail or do whatever it is that they specifically want to sit up there and do. So again, the main thing I'm saying is that the profiting area, white people profit off of child support because they're getting the money from child support, they're taking a cut of that, and then on top of that, they usually try to put the black man in and out of jail, or in circumstances where it's like, if you're not paying said child support, guess what? We're going to take away your driver's license. If you take away a black man's driver's license, guess what? How is he going to sit up there and get to and from his job? Right? How is he going to be able to pick up the groceries and take care of his living situation? He's not. Everything is going to be a domino effect. This is something that I've covered directly before. And I've also stated that women, more specifically black women, don't know anything about that because that's not what they have to go through. Because no man out here, let me take that back. There's a rare exception of a few men, of a few black men that will go out there and put a black woman on child support. 9 times out of 10, black men are not looking to put a black woman on child support. They're like, I'm a man, I'm going to sit up there. This is my situation. I'm going to be a man and deal with it. That's it. And that's what they do. They're not about to mess up somebody's life. They're not about to mess up somebody's relationship. They're not going to impede on somebody's situation. They're not going to try to dictate on somebody's situation. If you are a woman, you don't want the child or whatnot or whatever. You just want to, give the child over to the father. Father's just going to sit up and deal with it. It's like, all right, whatever. I'm just going to manage. I'm just going to figure it out as I go. That's it. Go ahead. Go out there in your lavender and and live the life that you want to, sit up there and live. You know. Um, let me see. Dorsey said, and if he is broken and poor, you're only going to get $200 a month in child support. What do you do? And he probably will not see the child. It was a horrible mistake in his eyes. Tiffy said, for men to avoid this, stop having relations with women that you don't like. Andrew Williams said, these men need to start using protection. I will sit up there and say that I agree with both Tippy and Angie. I 100% agree. Right, I as a man who have been in a situation, I agree. The most interesting part about that is when you're a man and you're in a relationship with a woman, you tend to go with trust. And the main thing I sit up there and say, it's going to sound a little bit odd for a lot of people, but I have to frame it this way. The way I look at it is that men cannot really afford to be emotional in relationships. Men should realistically always think logically because you never know what's going to happen. The moment in time, as if you're a man and you decide to get emotionally involved directly with the woman and you're not using logic anymore, you just set yourself up for failure and everything is going to break down and that relationship is just going to go directly by the wayside. The only people that actually have the ability to be emotional in a relationship are women. I'm just going to sit up there and keep it just right there. Somebody has to be logical. The other person gets to be emotional. Because if we look at the circumstances, right, if every single man is logical whenever they meet a woman and they automatically assume the worst, meaning that, okay, this potential woman that I'm seeing, even though she hasn't shown any signs or symptoms, potentially she could be a danger to me by trying to set me up and say that I impregnated her or whatnot or whatever, all this other type of stuff, right? So if every man went in there logically and just assumed that, and they were like, yo, I'm going to wrap up every single time, both of you guys are correct. A lot of these situations would not exist at all. But that's only if men decided to be logical. When we're dealing directly with relationships, men lose that part of logic. And we decide to go into an area of hope and wish and prayer. Those are all fallacies. And as I've covered directly on this platform before, it has been detrimental. I, for one, can sit up there and say that if I was more logical in the situation that I was in, none of the things that I've ever explained to y'all would have never have happened. But because I opted to actually have trust and faith in another person, I opted to think that another person would not try to hurt or harm me in that type of way. I opted to think that somebody who, quote unquote, said that they love me would never lie on me in such a way. Knowing the type of person that I am, knowing how dedicated I am, guess what? I got myself caught up. So this is why I sat up there and told y'all before that I take responsibility for the part that I played directly in that situation. I don't put the full brunt or the weight directly on the other person because, again, in order to allow a vampire in, you have to welcome them in. I welcomed that individual directly into my life, which then I welcomed problems that I was either able to see, was not able to see, or I completely ignored. So again, that's me as a black man taking responsibility, which again, from both parties dealing with black men and black women, I don't happen to see a lot of people actually doing that, or especially openly when it deals with their relationships that they've had with said parties that they may, you know, have negative, interactions directly with. So, like I said, how I explain it, it might seem a little bit weird. It's like, oh, but why be in a relationship if you're just going to be void of emotions? Because somebody has to be logical. So somebody has to sit up there and think about. Somebody has to be Batman. That's the best way I could put it. Somebody has to think or try to fight prep ahead of time for the what if situations. Because women get a chance to be emotional, they're not going to have that what if prep. They're not going to be thinking about the future 5 years, 10 years, 15, 50 years. They're not going to, everything is like the here and now. What do my emotions tell me? What are my emotions saying? So again, women have that space to do that. Men don't. We cannot afford to, because any and every single time that a man has, it is pretty much destroyed and it has failed. Something has always happened. So, you know, so like I said, for Tippy and Angie, I completely agree with you. I, as a person who have been in these situations, I can completely agree with you. I concur. I do not disagree at all. But like I said, I'm going to take responsibility as a man, as a black man here, as a representative. You're going to hear me take responsibility. Again, I can't speak for the other black men out there, and I cannot speak for the black women out there. I can't, but I can sit up there and tell you for face value. At least that's what I'm going to do, and I'm going to be honest and say those things directly in front of you. You know. Because a lot of 90% of people cannot do that and would never do it. I can promise you that. 1,000%. Tippy said, not just black men dealing with child support. I get that. Nikki Boo said, exactly. I would want to say that black men are more so harmed by the system of child support though than any other group. Like I said, I've showcased videos of white men going through this exact same thing. But again, the people that mainly are the poster children for child support is black men. Nobody can disagree with that. Anytime that child support is mentioned, the main light bulb that goes off in anybody's head is black men. Nobody's thinking about Asian. Nobody's thinking about African or Caribbean or Indian or Arab, or everybody's thinking black men. Right? Tippy said, I know it sucks. So to avoid all of that, don't have relations with a woman knowing you don't see a future with her. This is the thing, Tippy. You can it's easy to say what not to do versus actually being in the situation. Right? Because again, from the example that I just gave, when you're outside of the situation, it's easy to say like, oh yeah, just don't do this, don't do that, and all this other type of stuff, and everything will be great. You are 100% correct. But the problem comes in again is that when you're with two people and you're there for a certain amount of time, you got a certain history, you're going to have emotions involved. And a lot of times that emotion will speak loudly over any logic that you have. Logic will speak, pretty quiet, pretty silent. It's like hearing a pin drop. It's like hearing a water droplet, hit a pond, when it first starts raining. It's like that. But the emotions are over that. It's like thunder before the storm actually comes in. So, it's easy to say that I just don't do this and everything will be fine. Right? That's just like you have a lot of these dudes out here to say that, oh, if we don't want to deal with these situations, then just, stay away from women in general. Right? And it's like that logic is completely, crazy. That just don't, make no type of sense. But, this is the type of stuff that people say on both sides. You got men that say, just stay away from women. And you got women that say, just stay away from men. And none of these problems will ever persist. It's crazy work. But the funniest thing is I've seen lesbian relationships where you got child custody battles, where you got, people having to figure out who's going to be paying child support. So like I said, even if a relationship is void of men, there is still child support. There are still custody battles. There are still alimony battles. There are still battles over resources and splitting, the house or the car or this or that. Like I said, it's crazy work. Because again, I following the logic of other people out there. I thought if men were out of the situations and dealing with a lot of these relationships, that these things would never exist. Something completely different. Ascending Phoenix said it's not about you, it's about the child. Get that money. They are not all girl bosses. Wait, I'm a little bit confused on you said wait. It's not about you, it's about the child. Get that money. They are not all girl bosses. I'm not. Maybe I read it wrong, or my understanding, my comprehension maybe just at a zero at this moment in time. But it's like I kind of see what you're saying, and then I kind of don't at the same time. Maybe you were talking about the whole thing of child support and men throwing women on child support, I guess. Dorsey said 9 times out of 10, a man will have a job, family, and resources, so he doesn't start a relationship with another woman for about 5 years when the child enters preschool. Nikki said women need to take their emotions out of it as well. See, this is why, Nikki, I just happen to allow y'all to sit up there and say it, because if I were to sit up there and say it, hey, brother gets crucified. I mean, I'm already villain, but I'll sit up there and just get crucified still. So this is why I happen to just let y'all happen to say it, and I'll highlight it every now and again when it gets brought up, when it deals specifically with these conversations, because people don't like it when if me being a black man, if I happen to sit up there and say that, everything breaks loose. It's World War III. you know to be said, I saw a video of a black dude saying he manipulates women into sleeping with her. Wait, you saw a video? Wait. Oh, maybe you meant him sleeping with him. He said that he lies to just sleep with her. Okay. Well, Tippy, I'll put it to you like this in general. In general, when it deals with let's say going back to like high school or whatnot or whatever, a lot of people lie. A lot of people. I put it to you like this: men, you have dudes out here that will lie about finances, right? You'll see them with like some type of like jewelry, like a Rolex. They might be like iced out or whatever, have a few cars or something like that, but it's not anything actually consistent, right? It's not a consistent lifestyle. They were able to buy this at one point, but money may not be the same. So they're realistically fronting and lying about their finances in order to get the attention of women, because men have an understanding that women are drawn to guys who quote unquote look like they have it together, or look like they have resources or money, which is things to basically take care of a woman, right? Because that's what every woman wants. Every woman wants to be taken care of, right? Protection, all the other type of provisions, all other type of stuff, right? You have a lot of women that will decide to lie in a way of how it is that they present themselves. I'm not talking about finances or education, but I'm just talking about their personal appearance. You have a lot of women, they're not going to show up with their natural hair. They're not going to show up with no makeup on. They're not going to show up without the eyelashes or any of these other types of things. A lot of women claim that their bodies are natural, but they have surgeries. Right. So the way I look at it is that both parties lie to themselves. And in a lot of instances, even though you have men out here lying, you have a lot of women that will accept that lie. You have a lot of women that will lie to themselves in order to accept that man that they know is lying directly to them, because the lie is better than the truth. And that's the one thing that I have understood about a lot of women directly out here, is that irregardless on how people want to disagree, I'm talking from the perspective of a man and having conversations with women. A lot of women would rather be lied to than told the truth. And as a fact, a lot of women would rather be lied to than told the truth. Like I said, I didn't watch Divorce Court enough times, and Judge Toller had to sit up there and tell a woman, like, yo, this dude basically said that he doesn't want to be with you no more. She said specifically from her angle, her point of view, her father said that a man should not have to tell you more than once what it actually is. And you got women out here that will decide to not listen. They will forego the truth that a man is actually giving them in order to believe a lie that they made up themselves in their mind, in order to go with whatever dream world they created for themselves, because they cannot deal with the reality. So from that, what I'm saying is that both parties lie to each other. A lot of people don't want to be honest about anything, you know, and it'd be like that. Nikki said most black men don't like black women, which is crazy, because that we are the only ones that create them. I mean, I get I get that sense. I would not, in a sense, I wouldn't in a sense like say most. Um, but you do have a nice amount directly out there. If you happen to go through social media, maybe some podcasts or whatnot or whatever, that just the loudest voices, right? You got those out there that you can specifically put that branding, directly to. But you have other instances of which you'll have women out here, because because I've seen this before. If women happen to get shut directly down, more specifically, if black women happen to get shut down, black women, black girls or whatnot, if they happen to get shut down by a guy that they deem attractive, or this is them just stepping outside of their comfort zone and going up to a guy and letting him know that, hey, that they're attracted to him and whatnot or whatever. I've seen dudes literally gently reject a woman talking about that's nice, and everything like that, but I'm just really on my grind. I'm just focused on money. I'm not really into a relationship or anything like that, right? The dude is like, I guess you could say, monotone, or just has an ordinary voice, just doing this. And the main thing that I hear real quick is like, oh, you must be gay. If you gay, just say that. Like, it's that type of thing that tends to happen when you have black dudes that decide to turn down the advances or whatnot, whatever, of women. Even you guys, celebrity women, female rappers that have said this about dudes who were not all for them, those women trying to, get directly all up on them, dude. Just like, hey, I'm not about that. It's like, it's cool. It's not, I'm not on that type of time, whatnot, or whatever. And then everybody turns around and clowns the dude like, oh, like, you must be gay if you don't want her. Like, if you're not attracted to her, the girls are like, oh, you must be gay if you don't want all this. Like, I'm literally trying to give this to you, and you sitting up here like running, and I don't got no time to be dealing with these type of, like I said, like for me, I try to make things as even as possible because I'm on social media probably more than a lot of people. And I've seen the arguments from both men, black men, and I've seen the arguments from black women. And it's just like, it's just looking crazy all over the place. It's looking crazy all over the place. And it's like nobody, want to specifically take responsibility for their craziness, for what it is that they have specifically given to the argument, or their placement directly within that situation. Going to another extent, I've covered videos before where black dudes will be open on podcast, right? And guys will be honest, be like, "Yo, I was in this relationship with a girl," and it's like, "Yo, I wasn't acting right. I wasn't doing this right. I wasn't doing that, and all this other type of stuff. I wasn't paying attention. I wasn't listening because I just thought I knew everything, right?" And you have a lot of dudes that will lay bare and be honest with those situations and be like, "Yo, I honestly, in front of men, in front of the public, like, yo, as a man, I sat up there and messed up like this. This is me." And from that, I'm working on trying to be better as a man, trying to be better as a partner, for a relationship, and all these other types of things, right? When I see the reverse on these podcasts, when it deals with a lot of women, I don't see that same accountability and responsibility and acknowledgement of failures. Even when other women are trying to say, like, yo, you don't see yourself as a problem, you got other women that will still come back. No, she ain't the problem. It's these men out here. All women out here are great. All women out here are good. Like, we're tens and we're doing this and we're doing that. We're sitting up there with the best of the best, and we're never the problem. It's always, I'm like, I'm like, we're just not going to get nowhere. I'm like, we're just not going to get anywhere, But Tippy said, he said if he didn't lie and told the truth, she wouldn't mess with him. LOL, no duh. Yeah, yeah. So this is why a lot of people sit up there and lie. So going back to what I said before, a lot of women will sit up there and try to state that they are the same thing as, like, let's say, like a video vixen, or some of these other types of stars out here, like they into and they do a lot of those same things. They'll say that to entice the dude in order to get him directly there. Then once everything is starting up, then the guy realized, like, yo, what happened? You said that you were into a lot of the stuff that I was into, all this other type of stuff. And then they were like, I don't really feel like, doing that today, or all this. It's like, nah, it's like, just like, don't lie. just just don't lie. Like, you even got other extents where, just beyond the whole thing of people getting intimate, you got the whole thing of, women out here that will decide to lie about having kids. They don't want to be forthcoming with that. I'm like, if you are looking to date a single man without kids, you should let that single man know that you got kids. Don't be waiting until like the third or the fourth date when the dude is invested to basically tell him, I just wanted to let you know because, it's not safe dating out here and all this other type of stuff and that, I have kids and I hope that's not going to be a problem. And, because we really got to connect. Nah, 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 nah. Tell that dude initially. As soon as y'all start text messaging, let him know that you got kids. Don't be sitting up there waiting no 45 dates. That's wrong. That's wrong. It's wrong. That is wrong. A lot of dudes sit up there and be honest, like, yeah, I got kids. I got 6, 7, 8 kids. So, what we doing? And then women will be like, yeah, we ain't doing nothing. And like I said, I respect that. You decided to make that option as a woman that, hey, the dude honestly told you opted not to mess with him. But, the same respect, in a sense, doesn't happen to be given. I don't know. I don't know. You know, like I said, it's jacked all the way around. Um, Mr. Dorsey said, I have only one child. I raised him and lived with his mother for 7 years. She insisted on going out to the club every Saturday after my son was born. Nope, not wifey material. It'd be like that. It'd be like that. It'd be like that. Nikki said it has to be a balance between logical and emotional. I mean, yeah, that's true, but that's not the society that we live in. You know, sad to say, that's not the society that we live directly in. So for me, looking at everything, it needs to be as strict as possible. I'm just going to be real. It needs to be as strict as possible. Again, women can be emotional. Y'all can have that freedom and do that. Men need to stay directly in the logical area so that things just don't fall apart, so that you can see the potentialities of what may happen. Somebody has to be the thinking man there and watch all the satellites to make sure nothing comes crashing down. Somebody has to be watching, because if women are specifically in their feelings or emotional, they're not paying attention to the sky. They're not monitoring, you know, any of the tremors or anything. They're not looking at none of that. It's just la di di la di da. It's like, you know, it's that type of thing. So, you know, like I said, I get what you're saying. In a perfect world, it'd be great if both individuals can be balanced, but nothing's perfect and everything is imbalanced. So somebody has to take a role. The role for emotions is already filled. Somebody has to take the role of being in that logical spot and staying there. And the men have to do that, you know? Tippy said, all right, I'm done. I'll drop it. Tom said, I don't want to be a baby, or I don't want to be a baby's daddy. I want to be a father. I mean, we'll get married. I mean, it's that simple. If you don't want to be considered or called like a baby father, whatever, then, you know, get married or whatever. But the thing is, it's only adults that are going to refer to you, no matter how the situation is. It's only adults that's going to refer to you as a baby father. A child is going to call you either daddy or father or dad or whatnot or whatever. So, like I said, it's only adults that use this type of branding. Children don't know what that means. They don't know what a baby mom is. They don't know what a baby father is. It's only adults that carry around this type of branding because they want to downgrade what it is that the person is, because in their ideal, they feel that the only person that could be considered a father or a dad is a man that is married. And I'm like, that's crazy. Because I'm like, no matter how the situation goes, it don't matter what a woman is doing or going through or has done, she's always considered a mother. So I'm like, why are we not sitting up there, you know, evening the playing field and saying the exact thing, same thing for men? You know, like I said, you know, it'd be like that. It'd be like that. Milak, what is up? What is up? What is up? Dorsey said the Century Club is in LA. She thought she was going to marry Kobe Bryant. She was a blondie delusional. Oh yeah, I see what you're saying. I see what you're saying. Tippy said, what? So it's hard for men not to keep it in his pants. That's not what I said, Tippy. Tippy said, well, if it's crazy, then don't act surprised when she gets pregnant. Mr. Dorsey said, women assist online. My last partner insisted on telling me we are married and we don't sleep together and been together for 4 years. That's crazy. That's crazy. Um, Tippy says, Seji, this a grown man manipulates women for his selfish reasons while she thinks it's something serious, but they complain about body counts. I mean, that's because both. I did say earlier that both parties lie. You know, when it deals with that whole situation and whatnot, you got men out here that are sitting up here lying, and you got women that are both lying and believing a lie, because a lot of women don't want to focus directly in on the truth. And I'll put it to you to the other extent. Like I said before, the main reason why body counts, and I can sit up there just going off of what I went through, and I can sit up there and more than likely tell you, if I talk to other dudes directly out here and ask them, they'll say pretty much similar the same thing. I'm a guy, like I told y'all before. I was late to the party because a lot of other people was like, yeah, I lost mine at like 14 and all this other type of stuff, right? I was about 19/20, right? When I sat up there and lost my virginity, right? And no matter try as I might to go out there and to talk to or to deal with the women during that time, I was shut down because the main conversation came directly up about stuff happening. And I was honest, I wasn't going to sit up there and lie. I'm like, hey, because I'm not trying to sit up there and like show up and then you know stuff ain't going the way that it's supposed to be sitting up there going because I don't know what I'm doing, right? So I was upfront and directly honest. 9 times out of 10, I would have women sit up and say, "Oh, well, that's great for you," and then just in the conversation. Other instances, they would say like, "Oh, you're so sweet. That's so nice. There's a girl, out there for you. I'm not it." You have some other women sit up there and say like, "Oh, like that's nice, right? You're still a virgin. That's it's so sweet, and nice. Go out there and get some experience and come back to me." So these are the things that guys who don't have a body count have to sit up there and deal with when it deals with women, because women don't respect and don't like guys who are unexperienced. Even though those guys are a safer option because you don't have to deal with them having STDs, STIs, or any of these things, right? But they opt not to deal with it, and they opt to deal with the dudes who got more experience because women want that experience so that everything is going to go well, so that they have a great, good, and enjoyable time. So, like I said, it'd be like that. It'd be like that. Mr. Dorsey said, "Why do guys who have money pick the? How can I put that? Who pick zeros when it deals with women and looks? Once she takes off that makeup, she is not attractive." Um, the only thing that I could sit up there and list is that the reason why those guys are with women that some would consider like zeros or ones or whatnot or whatever, is because they're decent human beings. And a lot of the time, the most attractive women, I've heard this from all walks of life of men, but the most beautiful, most attractive, deemed women directly out there, like the models, eights, the nines, and tens, they got horrible personalities. They're horrible human beings. They would not make good, wives or people to be directly in relationships with, or any of those types of things. So yeah, they're with somebody. Um, who I guess others would not consider to be attractive. But as I told people before, the outside appearance of a person will, degrade over time. It's more so about the internal workings of said person. So, you know, that's the best way I can sit up there and put it. Lennar said facts. Stevie said, no, tell the truth. Don't make her think it's something serious. The thing about that, Tippy, is that you'll have, even going back to like high school, right? You'll have girls in high school knowing the fact that a dude is not serious, knowing the fact that he got like 20 girls that's like chasing directly after him, knowing the fact that he ain't trying to be serious with nobody, he's just having fun with the options. You'll have 1 to 2 of those girls that will feel that this is a serious type of thing. Oh, he talks to me. We're sitting up there going out on dates. He's buying me this. He's buying me that. All this. And it's like, where did that guy tell you that y'all were serious? Where did he tell you this? Where did he sit up there and tell you that? And again, using the example of high school, where did that guy who has 20, girls after him, where did he sit up there and say that? He didn't. It's whatever it is that those women feel and whatever it is that they think. It's that dream, right? That they are creating in their own mental to justify whatever actions or whatever feelings that they specifically have, even though the reality of it is that, this dude is not serious. Nikki said, I'm a natural girl, no weave, no eyelashes, no BBL. That is dope. Much appreciation. Like I said, when women decide to put themselves directly under, the whole thing dealing with surgery, it's like, it's a lot of things that can go wrong. I would opt for women to like work out to try to get a little bit of something versus going in for surgery and, not knowing what's going to happen. Because I've, covered some stories before dealing with women going for surgery and being under anesthesia. And the person that is supposed to be monitoring the vitals of the person didn't do what they were supposed to do, and that woman is no longer here. Like I said, there was a woman that I've covered a story of. She lost her daughter because she went in for I think breast augmentation and a BBL. And I'm like, that is tragic. Like I said, I'm sorry that happened. But this is, these are the complications. These are the things that can, take place and happen because you got, a lot of women that are unhappy with their bodies and they would opt to rather not work out and they want to take the easy road, which is like, let me save up 10, 15, 20, 30, whatever grand, and let me go under the knife. It's crazy. Tippy said, he said, if I tell her the truth, she won't sleep with me. I read that part, Tippy. Dorsey said, black men like black women. We don't like screaming harpies. Tippy said, that's why I say that men and women stop having relations until marriage, get to know a person first. I mean, you can wait until marriage and stuff can still happen. You can wait until marriage, stuff can still sit up there and happen. A woman can still lie and say that you are the father of this child and you're not. Like I said, divorce court, these paternity courts, it can still happen even if you wait, even if as a man you think that you know this woman, it can still happen. Tom said, I prefer women that were not born in the United States. Ray said, just because black men don't like women that behave like you doesn't mean that we don't like black women. Tippy said, those celebrities don't count. They're living in a different world. LOL. Ray said, you talk so much because you think you're smarter than what you are. I'm not even sure who he even referring to directly at this comment at this moment in time. That's why I said, like, I wish people would actually just at who it is that they're talking to, because at certain points in times, looking at that comment, and especially if I may be hungry, I'm like, I think that person might be taking some shots. I'm like, we're gonna have a conversation, right? But like I said, I'm a different person. I'm trying to relax. I'm probably gonna order some food today, but I'm trying to relax. Nikki said that women should never approach him. Women, we don't chase, we attract. I mean, that is true, but also you do have women. I'll put it to you like this. Let like a Michael B. Jordan, a Chris Brown, or whatnot, whatever. Like I'll put it to you like this, Nikki, right? The moment in time, this is how I'm going to sit up there and put it. You may say that I'm wrong, but I have to put it this way, right? If Chris Brown were to throw a concert, is Chris Brown chasing down the women to come to his concert, or are women coming to pay to see Chris Brown? If Chris Brown has a photo op where people can pay $1,000, is he chasing down women to pay that $1,000, or are women running to pay that $1,000 to take that picture? So it's like women do chase men. This is why a lot of the rich men that are multimillionaires, or the guys that look the greatest, the top of the top, or the guys that got the best physiques or whatnot, women are chasing those guys. A woman can do all of the attracting in the world, but even with that, that doesn't mean that she's going to attract that specific man that she thinks qualifies for her. Sometimes you may have to sit up there and be like, yo, hey, what's up? Let me introduce myself. That type of deal. Just saying. Just saying. I look at a lot of celebrity men all the time, and I see women. I don't see the dudes chasing after the women. It's the women trying to chase them. Hey, can I take a picture? Hey, can I talk to you? Hey, can we? Hey, it's crazy. Mr. Dorsey said, "Fake up." Oh, you said makeup gives a woman false confidence. She thinks she is irresistible, but she's only being irresponsible. One night stands. Tippy said, "Okay, agree. Some black women don't take accountability." LOL. Tom said, "I wouldn't go near a screaming woman on the Maury show." Tippy said, yeah, that's true, Seiji, but the difference is, okay, she lied about the kids. She could potentially he could potentially give her another kid. You see the difference. Oh, this woman Tippy said, like kids going back and forth. He's lying, so I'm lying too. Ishmael, what is up? What is up? You said, what is up? Nothing much, nothing much. Yo, SWAT, what is happening? What is happening? What is up, Mo? You said, dang, I thought Seji was still a you wouldn't get, I swear to goodness. Nikki said, that's their loss. Right. So I said the woman needs her own isolated post with your commentary. She literally wrote the program with her actions. The system sentinels will be following her and her family for a while. I'm so confused. Ishmael said, because they treat them with respect and sense of dignity, that they're down to earth personalities. Oh, okay. I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying. What was it? I guess it's supposed to be like Nua Newer America, or I know it's like it says Nuea America or whatnot. He said too many relationships are crazy dysfunctional. It's all vanity at this point. Ishmael said your looks can only get you so far for so long. That is true. Tippy said, well, nobody wanted me in high school. I can't speak on high school relationships. Like I said, it'd be like that. Ain't nobody want me in high school either. Trust me. Anything that I was able to get, I had to sit up there and run down. Like that's just how it works. If not, if I just stayed standing still, minding my business, it just would have been what it would have been. Like that's it. Like I said, at a certain point in time, it was like, hey, you either gonna go out there and see what's gonna happen, or you just gonna sit up there and continue to stand still. And I decided to, just move around just a bit. Yo, Titan, what is up? What is up? Said, good evening, Seji in chat. Stand up. What is happening? William Bed said, all things are logic, but not all things bring you what you wish for. That is true. Ishmael says, speaking of Chris Brown, homie is out on bail, 6.7 million. He had to put up. Ooh, that's diabolical. But I'm happy he's out. Like I said, he'll be able to. All he got to do, the concert that he has in the UK, he'll be able to pull that money back. There ain't nothing. He got that. Like I said, trust me, Chris Brown been doing tours for like well over like a decade. He can do it. He can do it. It ain't nothing. He'll pull that back. Let him do some tours in some other areas. Like he did a tour, I think what was it, like South America? He went to like Africa. Let him go. I don't think he can go to Australia. I think they banned him or whatnot. But yeah, let him get out of the UK and go to Europe and him do like a whole thing. Oh yeah, those women out there in the UK, oh yeah, they will be paying hand over fist to take pictures, hand over fist to go to his concerts. Trust me, he'll make that money back real quick. Tippy said that's why it should be mandatory to get a DNA test at childbirth. If I was pregnant, I wouldn't care. No, but see, Tippy, that's the thing though. You're one of that. I'm not even gonna say it's like a 1%. You're one of the very unique, rare few directly out there that's like, yo, even if we have a child together and we both know, like, yo, go out there and get the test just for your mental, just so that everything is everything. You're part of the rare few. If you bring this conversation up to other women directly out here, they're like, yeah, I'm not doing that. It's like I know who it is, and you know what we did, and all. Again, it's all emotion based. They're going off of this whole thing of emotions is specifically about them, but they're not caring about the sense, the safety, and the consideration of that man's feelings or where it is that he may be mentally, right? So like I said, part of the rare few. Nikki said no. I think that was referring to like one of the conversations. Wayne Best said most people have their idea or vision in their minds concerning man or woman and form their own perspectives, do the choosing and chase the chase starts. Tippy says, Seji, you mean groupies. LOL. Dark Titan said black females for 60 decades copying what white females do with their bodies, like getting surgeries and juicing, aka HGH, muscle enhancements, and steroids, not looking natural. Yo, D, what is up? What is up? You said, what's up, Seji? I hope I didn't miss much. No. We're only on like the third video. I was pretty much talking more because the conversation kind of segued into like some other things. So, Tippy said, so is that their proof that he hit the girl? Speaking on Chris Brown. Chris Brown only did the this had to do with him and another guy. It was at like a nightclub and everything, from what I recollect. Tippy said, LOL, they're gonna cuss me out. I already see it. Call me a pick me and a mammy. It be like that, Tippy. It be like that. Tom said, I can picture every move that a man can make. Getting caught in love will be his first mistake. Man was a poet, didn't even know it. Tippy said, to me, the definition of mammy is a black woman serving white people and praising white men. That is a mammy. All right, so now, after we done going through all of the comments, we can move on to the next video. Wait, what was this one? Oh, so this is going to go directly into the aspect of people, specifically taking care and making greater decisions on the partners that they decide to choose, because we're going to see both parties here and we're going to listen to the words that they just so happen to use. So I want y'all to pay very close attention, and I especially wanted to showcase this video.
Whenever you drop my son off with my mom.
Okay.
And don't think none of this sweet. I'm dead ass.
So we done.
And your child support, all this. You want to put me on child support, all this. And while you recording me, I want this video recording to get me clear as day. And I'm in my right mind. I will kill you. And my son, anybody, since you put me on child support. Don't come near me.
Okay.
And y'all will have y'all money and shit.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye.
You don't give a all you do is other men.
Bro, can I go fool?
Yes. Go have fun with your other men.
He's such a bum. I hate this for him. You're like,
So we heard it, right? So let me just run that real quick. I don't have a clear picture of like the dude, but this is what I'll be sitting up there talking about. For me, myself, from my perspective, I've tried to warn women about dealing with guys like this who are just unstable in nature, who are just irresponsible, and who just talk reckless and do reckless things. For you to be a dude and decide that you want to talk to the woman and be like, you put me on child support, I'll take everybody out. Where's the FBI? First of all, let's just start there. Where's the FBI? Just initially, this should have already gotten reported, put him on America's Most Wanted, because that's some crazy that's crazy work to sit up there and say like that's what you're going to do after you made the situation. That's some crazy work, right? But then in the other instance, you have the woman here. Let me see if I can go to her words. She said he is such a bum. Ma'am, you chose that bum. You opened up your legs to that bum. You decided to let that bum impregnate you. You decided to have unprotected relationships with that bum. You had that bum staying directly in your house. Both of y'all are failures. Like I said, I'm an equal opportunist out here. Both of y'all are failures. You're a failure as a woman, and he is a failure as a man. Both of y'all are failures. The only thing that I can basically hope, the only victim in this whole situation is the child, because the child did not ask to be here with two stupid, illogical people full of emotions. Both of these people don't want to be accountable or responsible or acknowledge any of their faults in this relationship or the situation. The woman wants to sit up there and blame him. Oh, I can't believe these bums. Stop dealing with bums. You literally like stop dealing with bums. Stop choosing. Stop sleeping with the wrong dudes. Like, what are you doing? Get yourself together. Stop using like emotions. Like, use some logic. Like, how do you get mad at somebody who's already told you what it is that they are? I promise you, at some point in time, she already knew that this type of dude. Let me just roll back to this dude picture. I promise you, I'm just looking at the way that the dude dressed. I'm looking at his whole demeanor. I can promise you, she already knew that it was nothing to this dude at all. But she opted because, she probably wanted her back broken or whatnot or whatever. She wanted to sit up there and be directly and have relations with this dude. Crazy work. Like I said, it'd be like that. Like I said, for me, both of these people are failures. Both of these people are failures. And they threw themselves directly into a situation that shouldn't have happened. Matter of fact, let me just go back to because it's a few of us here. There was a video that I gave you guys recently. And that video didn't move. I kid you not. I specifically did that video to just put some stuff directly out there. Video didn't move. I had more movement on the video talking about the white girls and all of that stuff than anything else. This video is probably about like at 600 views. This video right here. And the video that I just showed you is pretty much close to this story that I read off to y'all in that video. It's a single form video. This is the only thing that video is about. The woman that you see lost her life because she chose to be with a bum. She made it out of a interpersonal violent relationship, and she successfully got out of there, which was great. And she got into a relationship that seemed healthier, but the guy to the right was like, you left this and whatnot or whatever, and you're still in the same city. I can still find you and touch you. No problem. I'm going to sit up there and hire some hitmen real quick to get you up out of here. And that's what he did. The hitmen did not complete the mark because they were not able to successfully get her, because by way of her mother stopping them from doing it. But the boyfriend that she had, which was the decent black guy, he ended up losing his life because he was associated and attached to her. He lost his life because of the past relationship. And this is why a lot of guys say that the past, when it deals with a woman, the past matters. Because in a lot of instances, you have a lot of women out here dealing with these thugs, dealing with these hoods out here, dealing with these dudes that are in and out of prison. They don't got nothing else going for themselves. And they feel that each and every woman that they touch, they own them and can't nobody be with them. So after that basically initially took place, do you know what this woman did? It wasn't no more from like 2 weeks after that dude basically passed, her boyfriend, the good one, who lost his life. She was talking right back to the same dude that attempted to take her out. She opted not to sit up there and put him in prison, not to show up for a trial, not to work with the DA and the police, allow this dude to go free, ended up getting married and having kids with the same dude that tried to made an attempt on her life, all for her to later on, while married to him, have some type of simple argument. And this dude was like, you know what? I'm not going to miss the mark this time. I'm going to do it myself. And he sat up there and took her out. So this goes back to what I said before of me being a guy. I can sit up there and tell a woman like this what not to go for, what guys to stay away from. God can even sit up there and tell a lot of these women what men to go for and what men to stay away from, and they will still opt to be with the guys that are the most detrimental, that mean them the most harm. Like I said, I can't make this up. Can't make this up. Cannot make this up. And the only victims in this situation from this story that I covered is one, the child or the children, and the black man, the good one, the decent one that lost his life because he decided to be with her. This woman didn't even mourn that guy. She didn't even care. But she cared about that Pookie and that Ray Ray. You see the brother right there sitting up there. He don't even care. He done already took 2 lives. He about that life. And I promise you, there's another woman out there that's willing to get pregnant by him and to sit up there and give him a chance. I promise you, there's a woman out there that's willing to sit up there and write this dude in prison right now. But it'd be like that. But whenever it is that people want to talk about the detrimental black men out here, nobody want to talk about the women that specifically choose those detrimental black men. And how it is that people in the community, their own families, males that are friends that actually care about them and whatnot, whatever, even God himself, all of these individuals that literally care about this woman who don't care about herself, everybody will try as they might to get through. Don't want to listen. But yet, what I sat up there and saw directly in comment sections and whatnot. Oh, look at what black men be sitting up here doing. Look at the femicide rates. Look at this and look at that. We're dying every such and such hours and all this other type. My condolences to her. I don't have condolences. I don't have sympathy. I don't have tears for her losing her life to her own option, to what it is that she specifically chose. There's no way I can cry for that. There's no way. I don't have no empathy for that. You play stupid games, you win stupid prizes. I don't care how insensitive this may sound to a lot of other people out there. I get that some other people out there may have had their own instances of being whatnot or whatever. For those people out there, because I hadn't dealt with conversations like that before, hey, stop being emotional. Stop throwing yourself in a situation that has nothing to do with you. This ain't your situation, because I know it's not, because this woman ain't even here. So don't throw yourself into a situation that don't got nothing to do with you. Right? Like I said, it's crazy work. It's crazy work. 100%. But again, like I told people before, I try to put out these stories to give a warning out there to black women, not just so to the black women, but also to their daughters. Because in a lot of instances, you have a lot of mothers that are not talking to their daughters about making better choices when they decide to sleep with and select certain men to sit up there and be with. Because like I said, me as a black man, no matter if I was a teenager or the man that I am today, I cannot sit up there. People can sit up there and say, "Oh, black men need to lead," like the one conversation that we had in the live stream where the woman wanted to debate and she wanted to move the goalpost. It was like, "Oh, you black men, you need to lead, you need to lead, you need to lead." But like I said before, I can sit up there and try to lead black women or try to direct or tell them certain. If they don't want to listen, they don't want to listen. It's nothing I can do. And you can't sit up there and call me the villain or say that, I'm the reason why black men are out here doing. No, you the reason. You the reason. You 100% the reason. because you opt not to sit up there and take the lessons or listen to what it is that a black man is specifically telling you. There's nothing I can do. Like I keep sitting up there telling people, I can't sit up there and love you more than how you love yourself. I can't. I can't care for you more than you can care for yourself. Like, yo, it's crazy. That is diabolical. And the craziest part is, I was like, maybe if we do this, put the story up there, it'll do a conversation, like, to get some things, going or whatnot or whatever. Nah. Like I said, when I post a white girl and she was sitting up there saying that she's for a black man and this, that, and the third, and all this other type of stuff, everybody wanted to have a voice on that. When I posted this story and it dealt with this whole situation, I didn't get anywhere close to that. Matter of fact, let me go back and look. Right, it's at 736 views, only 18 comments. When I did the 2 stories dealing with the white girls, one video got 2,282 views, 91 comments. The second video that I did about the white girls got 3,000 views and 121 comments. So like I said, when people sit up there and tell me that they want me to cover certain stories and certain topics, I try to tell people, it's like, yo, everybody dictates what it is that they want to sit up there and see. If everybody is able to actually actively see all of those other videos that I do, I know that people are able to see the other videos that I post. They opt not to sit up there and engage. And specifically, a lot of women opt not to engage in those posts. If I posted a video where it was a dude, like this dude here, sitting up there saying this directly to this black woman, and I cut the video just there, that video will sit up there and be doing numbers. It'll probably get reposted and shared and all this other type of stuff. But videos like this, nah, it's not gonna happen. It's not gonna happen. It's not gonna happen. And it'd be like that. Because in this story, you can, if you go through and actually read the full article and everything, everything will tell you, like, yo, this woman brought this on herself. She was the main determining factor on how all of this unraveled, with all of the loss of life and those affected and everything. It was her. We already know the dude on the right. Like, they said that the dude on the right, which was her ex-boyfriend / husband / ex-husband, he had a record stemming back to when he was like 16 or 17 in high school. So he was already on demon time. He was already there. So like I said, I don't even need to sit up there and call that dude out. It is what it is. He basically got a smile after he done took life. So it's already apparent what type of the type of person that he is. I don't even need to call that out. But like I said before, it'd be like that though. You wanna try to bring awareness. You want to try to even a playing field and stuff like that. It'd be like it's crazy work though. He said Ishmael said he might bag the correction officer. Said, yeah, that happens all the time. You got a lot of women that will go for who are correction officers, and they'll go after guys like that all the time. Nikki Pooh said men need to heal and women should just stay single. Tippy said femicide is real, but you're not wrong either. Sometimes you can clearly see a dude is not right. Yeah, Tippy said, and you can clearly see that some black women are not good for you. Yeah. Yep. Tippy said, red flag number 1, if he calls you bro or ninja, you his girlfriend or homie. Nikki said, the people who are meant to see your videos will find them. You do good work, brother. Hey, much love, respect, and appreciation. Sometimes it feels like it just falls on deaf ears. just gonna be honest. Like, a lot of times it feels like stuff just fall on deaf ears, and I'm like, let me just do some other type of content. Like I said, as a content creator, I'm going to sit up there and just be honest about stuff. That's the only way for me that I feel that I can sit up there and try to be, when it deals with certain stuff. So, like I said, it'd be like that. D Money said, what is good, people? Nothing much. Tippy said, red flag number 2 is he's sagging with skinny jeans or sweats. Yeah, it's crazy. Tom says, Seji, just want to say thank you for an important conversation. Hey, no problem. Like I said, much love, respect, and appreciation. Any point in time that I can happen to do videos and people can happen to pull, something from it or from their own angle, start a conversation from that, I feel that is a, success, so You know, much love, respect, and appreciation. So now we're going to go to another. Hopefully that clap wasn't too loud. My bad. Now we're going to go to a whole nother conversation. With this woman here. I can't specifically tell you because I was editing, the video. I listened to it, but I didn't fully listen to it. So technically, this is going to be my first time listening fully with you guys, and we're going to assess the situation and see what it is that she has to state. Swat said, "I appreciate you, bro. Appreciate you too. Much love, respect, and appreciation." You said your content is always on point. Much love, much love. Thank you, thank you. So let's get into the video.
I really cannot believe what just happened to me at the jewelry store. I'm at the jewelry store. I went in there to go buy me a piece of jewelry. I was feeling good today. I walk in. I'm talking to Chris. Chris got another customer in there. He's trying to buy 2 watches or whatever. And so Chris is trying to take care of myself and the other customer. So the other customer says, hey, you can take care of her. We can talk about my stuff later. I'm like, nah, he can take care of both of us at the same time. Just trying to have common courtesy. I don't know what people got going on. So he walks up to me. He was like, you're very beautiful. Or whatever. I do skits. I'm not a rapper, but he was like, I got like 2, 3, sets. So let me show you my sets. So he goes on his Instagram, showed me his followers. He got like 1 million followers, talking about he just worked with the Double Dose twins, talking about he about to work with Boosie. He showed me his DMs with Scrappy, showing me Rolls Royces, showing me jewelry. I'm already turned off because I don't like no like, if you got to do all of that to pull I'm not the for you. He continues on.
So hold on. So I want to know, I think she said that this is also in Atlanta, and she said that this dude, he got millions of followers. So this goes back to the other conversation that I had directly with y'all, that a lot of dudes will technically lead with what it is that they are able to provide and do. He's not only showing that he has built something, right? So he is able to create, right? That's what he's trying to show. He might not have conveyed it in that way, but he said, I do skits. These are my followers. These are the contacts that I have with different celebrities directly out there, meaning that he has opportunities. And if he has opportunities, if you're basically with him, you can also share in and potentially have those same opportunities and different things. And like I said, I'm reading this a little bit different versus what she is, but maybe that's just me. But let's keep going.
He was like, I said, well, here's my Instagram. I give him my Instagram or whatever. And he ends up saying, oh, do you want to do a skit with me? I was like, okay, we can talk about it, whatever. So he says a price, and I said a higher price. He was like, all right, cool. You beautiful. I'll pay you that. I'm like, all right, cool. So I gave him my number. He was like, can I get your number? I gave him my number. His number called my phone. The number came up. My phone is on D&D. So when his number called my phone, I ended up texting and on his phone, and I text JB. And so he was like, you're not going to save my number? I said, I'm going to save it in a little bit. He was like, why wouldn't you save my number right now? Oh, you don't want to do no business? All right, I'm just going to go get the Double Dose twins to do business. They the baddest in Atlanta. Then he started calling me. Then he started, like, just going all crazy. Like, first of all, for you to have so much money, why the you have the veneers at the top and the bottom teeth look like butter? They throwing up hoods and all of that. Like, how you going to get mad because of I want to save your number?
So I just want to clarify something, right? So she said that he was being disrespectful to her by calling her directly out of her name. But out of this whole video, she's consistently referred to herself as that. So it's a positive if she says it as a black woman, but it's a negative if a black man calls you that. Okay. I'm just making sure. I'm just trying to keep count.
Like, and this is how we got here. Watch the next clip.
Who is this coming up to me up in the store? Want to show me his Instagram and then want to get mad because he gave me his number and I won't save his number in my phone and then try to call me above 2 seconds ago.
I don't know her.
I just met 2 seconds ago.
She's a fan. I don't know her.
Boy, I don't know you. Who is this Chris? Who is this
Jason, you recording me.
Boy, who is this?
You recording no Sexy Red.
Chris, get this for something really happened up in this for real. I'm not playing. This is mad because he gave me his number asking me to do a skit and I didn't save his number in my phone and he in here talking crazy. He in here talking crazy. Like, who the fuck do we think he is? Showing me Rolls Royces and I ain't come up in here for that. I came in here to buy me some jewelry. Who the are you?
So that was that. Oh dear Lord. Okay. So we were able to get and understand that. I'm just gonna be real. I don't like nobody's actions. Only thing I tried to do early was explain what it was that he was trying to convey, because usually a lot of dudes don't know how to convey stuff properly. Both people are failures. Number one, she was calling herself directly out of her name. Number two, the guy decided that he wanted to start acting wild and start going off at the mouth and hollering and doing all of this other type of stuff, but yet you got, all of these other types of women that you can work with and all this other type. Ah, everybody got L's. Everybody got L's. Like I said, for me now, for other people it may be a little bit different. For me, everybody got L's. I would have loved to hear the totality of the full conversation. It only came into the part where he was going off, where I'm like, that's a little bit weird, because usually people record or try to record the whole thing. So I would love to actually hear the type of tone and voice and everything that was said from her angle, in contrast to what it is that he was doing, and he was, sitting up there showing and stuff. Because I will note that you do have women out here that will start saying some sly stuff and being, disrespectful and taking little jabs and all this other type of stuff. So again, I don't have the full totality. I got her version of her deciding to talk, and then after that, it goes directly into the video of him just screaming. And I'm like, I hate when people just do that. I would love to see the full thing, but we don't got that unless the dude Chris that works at the jewelry store would release that footage, because I know he got cameras directly up in there, because that's what a lot of jewelry stores have. But for me, both people got L's. He got L's for, being this person that got this large subscriber following, got all of these connects and all of this money, and you acting crazy over one woman. And she got an L for for me, the way that she was deciding to speak, directly dealing with the whole conversation. I'm talking about just her just being in a car referring to herself directly out of her name, and deciding that she wanted to get offended when a dude referred to her as the same thing that she consistently called herself, and yada yada yada, and all this other type of like I said, it's L's for me all around. I don't know. It's it's, it's L's for me all around, because like I said, for me, I don't like hearing a woman refer to herself as, as anything like that. Automatically, like, points are down. I'm talking about like stocks are dropping like the Red Sea. It's like, yeah, nah, buddy. We already off to a bad foot in my book. It's like, nah. I like, yo, I'm gonna be like, I hated that back when it was like the whole thing. I think, who was that during the time? I think, was it Trina? The baddest? Yeah. Back during that time when like that song was, yeah. I hated that. And it was like solely just like a whole bunch of like black women and black girls just calling themselves that, like a 5-star and a top general and head in charge and all this. I'm like, oh my God. I'm like, all right. I'm like, y'all got it, whatever. It's crazy. Dark Tide says she's definitely a supporter of feminism, aka toxic femininity, and he's a beta male getting triggered. Yeah. Like I said, for me, both of them got L's. House of L's right now. Swat D said childish reaction. The whole situation could have been avoided by being patient with each other. Yeah, that's facts. And the craziest thing directly about that is the thing where initially the dude was like, yo, I'll let you, deal with the dude Chris the jeweler. Like, yo, I'll let you sit up there and deal with her, and I'll sit up there and do whatever I got to do after. If she would have just been like, did that, I'm pretty sure that the whole situation would have been different, because the dude probably would have been, probably looking around the jewelry store, or maybe looking at his phone, responding to messages. It probably went there. But because she was like, oh no, he can sit up there and just deal with both of us at the same time. Sometimes, God lets you know certain things. God has many voices. And a lot of times people opt not to listen to God, and they just want to do whatever it is that they want to do. So very easily, maybe the situation could have been different if you would have just opted where he was like, hey, ladies first. He can just, deal with you. She opted not to do that. But like I said, for me, it's L's on both sides. Just being real. L's on both sides. Yo, what's up, Radio? Wait, Swat said childish reaction hosted. Oh, yeah, right there. Okay, so Radio said, I think he had his feelings because she was recording him and he felt she was messing with his brand. That's what I'm thinking. I mean, that could be possibly a thing too, because he gets paid, right? Whenever he's on camera, he gets paid. The only person that's going to get paid, in a sense, from this reaction or whatnot, whatever, is her. The only one that's going to gain something from this type of like filming is her. So I mean, from that extent, from what you were saying, I can see that. I can see it. Radio said he felt like she was messing with his money. I can see that. Michael said that's why it's only good for. All right, that's why they're only good for being baby mamas and baby daddies. I don't even know what you're even referring to. You said you live in Louisiana. I'm not even sure. That's a little bit weird. Tippy says, Seji, she's in her car. He did way worse. And I hate when black women refer to themselves as that name is stupid. For me, I'm even. Like I said, I feel like they both were integral parts of the situation. Nobody's hands are clean at all. At all. Like nobody has any type of clean hands. Both people were disrespectful to both individuals. Both people were raising their voices and and all of this stuff. Like nobody was an adult in the situation. Nobody was an adult at all. Everybody was acting like kids. Like I said, for me, it was an L all the way around. He said, what are we talking about? Talking about variety of videos. Let me see. So again, for some of the people that decide that they want to, directly reply to any of my moderators, you better sit up there and check yourselves real quick, because the good majority of my moderators are women, and I also got snipers in the background who are also moderators. So yeah, so if you want to be able to speak directly in this live stream, you might want to sit up there and check yourself real quick before they throw you in the Bermuda Triangle. Just a warning. So next, we're going to go directly to this Caucasian American, and he's going to speak on something of this is a topic that I've been looking directly into, and it has to do with Ziploc bags and some other things of that nature. So I'm going to let this dude basically speak on it, and then we're going to get directly into it.
To know about these bags right here, used by over 200 million Americans daily, by the way, and they're linked to dementia and the class action lawsuit that is now in progress. For those of you who don't know me, I'm Dr. Clint Steele. I'm a brain and nervous system specialist, and I help people just like you improve your life by improving your brain function, specifically around preventing and in many cases reversing dementia and Alzheimer's disease. For those of you that follow me, I did a video on this not too long ago talking about 750 milligrams of plastic being found in the brains of those that have Alzheimer's and other forms of dementia. That's the size of a plastic spoon, folks. So the question is, where are all these plastics coming from? How are they getting into our body, number one? Number two, how are they getting into our brain? So in the last video, by the way, if you're not following me, guys, you need to be following me, because I'm sharing this stuff. This is going to help you to prevent dementia and Alzheimer's disease. So in the last video, you can search it. I'm not going to share it here. I listed a list of things that we're using on a daily basis that create microplastics. One of the things I didn't talk about is this, because I don't use this. What they're finding here, guys, is this. And S.C. Johnson claims that Ziploc bags are safe to use in extreme conditions, meaning for freezing and also for heating in their microwave. Now, for any of you that are doing this, guys, and this is one of the reasons I don't do this, because it doesn't make sense to me to put this in the microwave. It's going to melt. It's plastic. It's going to get into my food. That's not good for me. So if you're doing this, you got to stop. Here's what happens. There's two ingredients in this plastic bag called polyethylene and polypropylene that break down and turn into microplastics. These microplastics are so small that they can actually cross the blood-brain barrier. And this is how we're finding plastics in the brain. So what can you do? First, go back and find my other video that I did on this subject, guys. Get the plastics out of your life as much as you can, and especially these. If you're using these on a regular basis, you gotta exchange them. I've had a couple of followers, a couple friends of mine as well, share what they use instead. These are 100%. I'm not sponsored by them, by the way. but these are plant-based plastic. They're not actually plastic, but they're they're plant-based bags that they're using, and they're 100% completely safe. And then the last thing, guys, follow me. This is what I'm sharing on this channel. So make sure to follow me. Make sure to comment. Guys, if you're using these bags, let me know. If you've changed them for something else and you already knew this, because I did a video on this before, and you've changed these out, let me know what you're using instead. I would love, and some of the readers or some of my followers would love to see this as well. And then share this. Please, guys, share this. I'm out to save 1 million lives from dementia and Alzheimer's disease, and I need your help. And we've got to get rid of stuff like this because it's damaging our brains and it's leading to end-stage neurodegenerative diseases. So please share this. I love you. I'm Dr. Clint. Let's save more lives.
So yeah, so again, this is a video that I just randomly saw online. Probably try to look up Dr. Clint. Probably try to search him on maybe like YouTube, maybe IG, maybe on X, aka Twitter, or TikTok. And you can happen to find his videos directly up there. But yeah, this is crazy. And I just recently, over the last few days, found out about the lawsuit that was taking place with Ziploc and everything dealing with dementia and Alzheimer's. This is not really anything too shocking because I have some videos up on the channel that specifically went over chemicals and foods that are banned in the United States. I'm sorry. Let me reword them. Sorry. I went over foods and chemicals that are banned around the world, except for the United States. Basically meaning that a lot of the stuff that we eat and take in every single day is poisonous to us, right? And the whole rest of the world basically realizes that, and they opt not to take part in that. So they have a lot of things substituting. So if you look at a box of Fruit Loops from the United States and a box of Fruit Loops from, let's say, like Japan or Germany or whatnot, the ingredients are going to be different. The things that they put in there are going to be different. The United States will put in a field of like chemicals in there. And again, it tastes great, but it's detrimental and it's bad for us. And it'll lead to a lot of different, things from respiratory, neuro problems. It can lead to ocular problems. It can lead to respiratory problems, circulatory problems. It can lead to problems all over the place dealing with the human body. But more specifically, it would really be detrimental for a lot of kids who are taking this in while they are growing, right? And that's why I would cover a lot of those videos. Trust me, a lot of those videos did not get no type of shine, no type of light. It'd be like that. But it's great to know and see that you got other people out there that are able to get this information out there to people, and people will take it in and they will listen, they will share, and inform other types of people. So one way or another, information will get directly out there, and people will learn. So if you're not aware, you are now aware, and go check it out. Go look directly in your freezer. Go look directly in your kitchen, and try to find healthy alternatives versus using plastic. To keep yourself healthy, your partner, healthy, your family healthy, your kids healthy, everything. So now we got another video directly up here, right? And this is going to be another one I'm listening technically with you guys for the first time. Head of the video said, "I cried at a restaurant because my husband said something mean." So let's see what the husband said to her.
My husband decided to be spontaneous and take me to the movies last night. And when we went to dinner afterwards, I was talking about how much I really loved the movie. It was so good. I was so excited to talk about it. And he looks at me dead in my face and says, "It was just a movie." And I immediately stopped talking. So the more I sat there and thought about it, I start crying. It gets really uncomfortable. And he tries to break the silence by continuing to talk. And I finally looked at him and I said, "That really hurt my feelings." And he responded, "It was just a movie." I said, "I was really excited to talk about it. You took me to see this movie on a whim. I've never heard of it, didn't look it up beforehand, and I really loved it. You picked a great movie." And I was so excited. And now I don't want to talk at all. Because why would I want to talk after that? And he immediately stops. He's like, "You're right, I'm sorry." And then he grabs my hands. He's like, "I'm not even being sarcastic. You're right, I'm sorry. I love when you get excited. It's just annoying sometimes." I recognize that he is trying and he is learning how to communicate with me. It's not an overnight process, but it is very painful. He's still new to his healing journey, so I just have to keep remembering that.
All right. I think I need to replay that again just to try to figure. So let me just let me just do that one more time. Oh.
Went to dinner afterwards. I was talking about how much I really loved the movie. It was so good. I was so excited to talk about it. And he looks at me dead in my face and says, it was just a movie. And I immediately stopped talking. So the more I sat there and thought about it, I start crying. It gets really uncomfortable. And he tries to like break the silence by continuing to talk. And I finally looked at him and I said, that really hurt my feelings. And he responded, it was just a movie. I said, I was really excited to talk about it. You took me to see this movie on a whim. I've never heard of it, didn't look it up beforehand, and I really loved it. You picked a great movie, and I was so excited, and now I don't want to talk at all, because why would I want to talk after that? And he immediately stops. He's like, you're right, I'm sorry. And then he grabs my hands. He's like, I'm not even being sarcastic. You're right, I'm sorry. I love when you get excited. It's just annoying sometimes. I recognize that he is trying and he is learning how to communicate with me. It's not an overnight process, but it is very painful. He's still new to his healing journey, so I just have to keep remembering that.
So I'm just trying to figure out. So you knew that this dude, because you're married, which means you dated, you went through the whole motions of being a fiance. So you knew that this dude was basically broken from the get go. You knew that emotionally he didn't have the facilities for certain things, and this is why he said that. Yo, I enjoy the fact that you get hyped about certain things, but it's just annoying, huh? Like that's crazy. It's how you like, yo, that's crazy. Like you're gonna lift somebody up, like yo, it's beautiful when you get hyped, but yo, it kills my mood. Like what? That's crazy. But I promise you, that's not the first time that he said something like that to her. That's not the first time. And this is when I happen to say that a lot of people, like if you got to be emotionally intelligent when it deals with certain situations and picking a certain person. If you as a person know that this person is broken, you shouldn't have some type of expectation that the person is going to feel a certain type of way or see a certain type of way or feel the way that you're going to sit up there and feel. Like everything in their world is just jacked, right? But to enable yourself to be in that place with that broken person, knowing that as soon as you step into their house, everything is full of darkness. It's barely lit, right? It's just candles. You got newspapers and stuff just all over the place, and then you got shards of glass, and the windows are are not even fully there, and the wind and rain is coming in from the storms. Like it's dank, it's damp, it's dark, not well lit, and you're stepping on glass everywhere. It's like, why would you put yourself in that place? As the person that you are, like she is probably a happy person, right? But looking at her, she probably is a happy person, but it doesn't take a lot to bring her down. That's something that she needs to work on. I can look at her and see that because a lot of other people will be like, they'll just brush it off. It's like, yo, what you mean it wasn't a good movie? Like that'll be a whole nother conversation. It'll be like, okay, so why wasn't it a good movie? Right? They'll move on and be like, okay, so you don't want to talk about the fact that I think that it's a good movie, and you don't want to have that lot. No way, we're still going to have this conversation. So tell me why it was just a movie, right? And that's how people will sit up there and still get the conversation to happen and whatnot or whatever, where you can go back and forth and whatnot. But she allowed that one thing to shut down and to destroy her own mood. And this is why I tell people before that you got to stop allowing other people to have that much control over you and your emotions. The moment in time that you do, you no longer have control over your faculties. You no longer have control over yourself, because that means that the person can cut on the switch and they can cut off the switch irregardless of whatever you're doing. They can just do that at any point in time, and you're allowing them to do that. People got to stop doing that. People got to stop doing that. But also, Sinners is a good film. I do want to put that out there to people. Sinners is a good film. If you haven't seen it, you need to sit up there and go see it. Dark Titan said exactly. It's very hard to fix a broken person. Yeah, and it's like I don't understand why she decided to get married to that person. Like that's crazy. That is diabolical. Like the moment in time, at any moment in time during dating, that she heard that where the dude was like, "Yo, I love when you get excited, but it just brings me down, or it's just annoying." You should have been like left. This woman, she also probably suffers from low self-esteem, and again, that's a problem that she got to fix. Like I know there's a lot of ways of how it is that she got married to this dude, and none of those are good for her. It's negatives. Like she has a lot of things that she needs to work on herself. Like just listening to her speech, her positioning, and everything. Like it's a lot of things that she needs to sit up there and do. That well, technically she should have done before she got married, but it's crazy. But anyways, now we're going to go to another video.
40s.
And this is going to deal with the administration that we currently have at this moment in time, and how the tides are turning, how people are being rebranded and placed into other groups. So again, I try to tell people, try to warn people, but we're going to take a listen and see specifically what is happening.
47 million people just had their race reclassified by the US government, and you probably weren't even told about it. So if you're multiracial, Latino, or mark some other race on the census, this is about you. So in March 2025, the Census Bureau quietly dropped something called the MARC files, and they're using it to rewrite the 2020 census data. So what they did is they took people who selected some other race on the census, or even some that marked multiple races, and reassigned them into one racial category. The multiracial population went down from 33.8 million to 14.6 million, and the white population increased by over 40 million. That is not a correction. That is a rebranding of America, and it erases a huge part of who we are. So here's what they did in order to decide our race for us, basically. They checked other people's data in your household. If that wasn't enough, they looked into Medicare, Social Security, even school records, and also looked into zip codes, neighborhood demographics, and more. So basically, who you live with and where you live can now determine your race. What? And honestly, there's no easy way to check if it happened to you. It was done retroactively, and it was done in the name of standardizing the data. This isn't just offensive or annoying, it's systemic erasure in real time with very, very real consequences. And it's the census, so it impacts research and funding and representation. It affects how our communities get counted, served, or ignored. And it continues a very long legacy of mixed and multiracial folks being told to disappear, to pick one, to fit a form, to be less complicated. Just check one box. But our identities are not the problem. The systems trying to simplify us and erase us are the problem. So here's some common questions that I got on the last video. 1, can I check if I was reclassified? Not sure, not yet. The MARC data isn't public in a user-facing, user-friendly way, but we are working on it. We're demanding transparency. Also, how do we stop this? We cannot undo this overnight because this is very recent news, but we can organize. We can force the conversation into the public and political space where it belongs. So this is what we need from you. Talk about it. Post, stitch, duet, send it to your community, send it to your people. We got to get the conversation going and flowing. Also call your reps. It's frustrating to talk to them, especially now, but silence gives them cover. If we don't show up, they say, my constituents don't care, which is exactly what they do. Also hold power accountable. Politicians work for us. If we give up that power, they continue to vote against our best interests. And the biggest one, stay in community. Keep sharing your stories like you already are. We're building power just by showing up for one another. And then also, this is still breaking. Myself and folks from Mixed Asian Media and other orgs were actively researching and organizing and trying to push back, so stay tuned. We're definitely not letting this slide. And you're not imagining the erasure. You're not alone in the exhaustion, but we're still here and we're not going anywhere.
So I want to note that you have a nice percentage of the Asian population that voted for Trump, that voted Republican, along with the Latins. Because you have a lot of these people that feel that they are honorary, or they feel that they are shoulder to shoulder. They feel that they are the model minority. And now a lot of these people have to face what it is that they're going through. They have to own up to that, or better yet, a lot of them want to put the blame on one part, but they don't want to put the blame on themselves, right? Or their community that specifically voted in order to enable these things to happen. Again, like I said before, you heard the Hispanic woman earlier that was sitting up here talking about, oh, black people, we're in this together. No, we're not. You got this woman here talking about anybody that's like multiracial or biracial, whatnot, or whatever, how it is that people are getting put into like one group or the other. It'd be like that. This is what the rulers are able to do. Only the victors are able to tell the story, right? Whatever they say happened is whatever happened. Everybody else, second place doesn't exist. Only first place. And those in first place are the ones making up these rules and changing and putting things here and there and everywhere. Wherever it is that they want to sit up and do, whatever history they want to sit up there and write, whatever history they want to omit, that's what they're doing because they are able to sit up there and do it because you got a lot of people that enable these things to happen because people refuse to listen. So now you got people coming up online basically crying about stuff. And I'm like, y'all should have been crying way before this. Y'all had years and years and years to basically prepare to stop all of this from happening, all of these other types of things. Y'all wanted to try to blame a demographic, blame this, blame that, and here we are. It's falling on deaf ears. Now you got to sit up there and deal with the situations that are. This man radio sitting up there talking about she got that face. Oh, you talking about the other woman? Yeah, I know what you're talking about. That's crazy. Radio said, oh, now it's an issue now that it's happening to them, but it's been happening to our people for years now. And we've been trying to tell everybody, yeah, black people are the most rebranded people in the United States, bar none. Nobody else has been rebranded more than black people at all. Nobody else. Nobody else. But it'd be like that. Nobody wants to pay attention to the first people that has been happening to and still consistently happening to at this moment in time. So it is what it is. Like I said, everybody will find out. All these other quote unquote minorities or whatnot, whatever, y'all will sit up there and figure it out. Black people have had to deal with it, so now y'all got to deal with it. Everybody gets their turn on the wheel, and now it's your turn. It's that simple. D said that's the biggest lie. The government works for us. No, you are right, but hey, it'd be like that. Let me see. Veg said we're all on the stage, we're just watching. I mean, it'd be like that. But in order for that stage to be built, the people who are watching had to have built it. The elite people are not going to sit up there and just build a stage. They're going to have the 99% build the stage for them. So instead of people just watching, you can easily dismantle what it is that you built, correct? Or maybe it's just me. Maybe it's just me. What was it? Tethernator, what is up? What is up? You said there is no black and brown coalition now. All of these immigrants are French all of a sudden talking that wee stuff. Wee mon ami. Me chérie. Yeah. Crazy word. Tippy said, I think in the 70s we was Afro-Americans. Yeah, like I said, we went through a lot of different things. Negroes, coloreds, Africans, African Americans. Went through a lot. Somebody said replay the clip. No, just pull back the live stream a little bit. All you got to do from where you are right now, just pull back the live stream a little bit, and you'll get the woman that you see right here playing. And yeah, because technically I'm trying to get through this real quick because I am hungry. Let me tell you, I'm hungry. Let me see. Sear said, yeah, we were shaking. Yeah, I don't even know what you've been talking about. So the last video I'm going to save for last, but this is a video that Hack was talking about. This is a story that Hack was talking about. And the funny thing is, I was supposed to do a story on this, but I forgot about it. So we're going to look directly at this video of this African woman and what it is that she is. Oh, I didn't get that. How did that happen? Hold on, let me see something real quick. Okay, now I got it. Okay. So now we're going to look at this African woman and see what basically happened to her on the flight that she was taking, right? So let me just get this video real quick. And here we go.
Trust me, the feeling that you have watching this video, I was feeling worse during that time, okay? When I posted that video, I wasn't thinking about suing. I wasn't thinking about this and this and that. My first question that I just couldn't get past is, don't they know how many seats are in first class? How can you run out? If you're going to ask me, did they run out of a food that I want? No, they ran out, period. The only thing she offered me was a drink. She says, would you like anything else to drink? She didn't give me a chips. She didn't give me, like, absolutely nothing. And no, I was not sleeping. And yes, my ticket was bought 5 days before. And yes, I was angry. You see this text right here? I was heated. I was texting my boyfriend, and I was like, I couldn't believe this. As you can see in the text, I said that I did not eat anything. I didn't eat anything all day. I looked forward to this. I paid for first class thinking I'll eat on the plane. And people are telling me I need video proof. I don't have video proof. I didn't expect this to happen. I didn't think this could happen. Right? I didn't think this could happen. I didn't think this was a thing. But now, after reading all of the comments and all of the women that's been through it, now I understand. It caught me off guard because I didn't think it was a thing. And people are telling they should have extra food. But the flight attendants that work for American Airlines, they say that they don't have extra foods. So my thing was, the one thing I couldn't get over is that how how can first class not have a meal for everybody? How can, it's not like they had something and I didn't want it. No, they ran out. Like, I don't get what part of they ran out that you guys don't get. They told me point blank, they ran out. They ran out. Not like, do you want this? Would you like that? I'm so sorry. They ran out. Would you like anything else to drink? That was it. It's clear. It's cut and dry. It's cut and dry. And everybody's asking me for different perspective, or maybe this happened, or maybe no. It's a straight line story. There's no backstory. It's just cut and dry. Cut and dry. That's it. No, I didn't report it. No, I didn't call the airlines. Because honestly, I was baffled. Okay? Like, my brain couldn't comprehend that this happened.
So we heard it, right? So again, you have a lot of people online that want to say that she is a black woman. The only people that are consider themselves black realistically are black Americans, those in the United States, because this is how we basically move. Everybody else moves by, tribe and religion, all this other things first, and then, color or whatnot last. So this is not a black woman that was on this first class flight. This is, for all intents and purposes, either an African woman or a woman probably in the islands. Just listening to her accent, she might potentially be somewhere near the UK or part of the UK or whatnot or whatever. But irregardless, I'm not sure how this specifically happened. She said that she didn't report it. That don't make no sense. You have a first class ticket. You're in a first class seat. You did not get your money's worth, and you opted not to report it. You just wanted to record just your area being blank, like it doesn't have like food sitting, directly there or whatnot, whatever. That don't make no sense. Like that's a little bit crazy to me. Like, why wouldn't you be trying to get compensated for them running out or try to get some type of voucher or something like that so they can get that straight? Like, you would rather go to social media and talk about it versus talking directly to the flight attendants or talking directly to the desk after you get off of the flight. Like, that don't make no, like, I don't understand why people want to be so quick to run to social media and do stuff versus going to the source. Like, that's a little bit confusing to me. It's not, because I understand social media and people want to get that type of stuff directly out there for attention and stuff, but still it don't make no sense. Like, that's crazy. But like I said, if she wanted to get this fixed, she could. If she really wanted to sit up there and get this fixed, she could sit up there and get it fixed. Diabolical. Wait, did she say she was casting a spell? Wait, did she? Wait a minute. I might have missed that part because I see quite a few of y'all saying like casting a spell. Like, that's some crazy work. That's some crazy work. That is crazy, man. But yeah, like I said, it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. And like I said, she is she an influencer? Because I'm looking at the way that she's dressed, and so she looked like she's probably like an influencer. But yeah, she got to do better. So now I understand why it is that she went directly online first versus going directly to the airlines or even trying to at them online or whatnot or whatever. Again, crazy work. Wanted to do all of this just to talk and not really get nothing situated, just to earn a few dollars. Crazy. But now this video here, this is the last video, so I want y'all to pay very close attention to this video. And yeah, that's the best that I got to prepare y'all for what y'all gonna hear about this. And I got two videos, so it's side by side, right?
Purse made out of alligator tongue and a child spine. The child spine is actually the handle for the purse, and they're sourced from Canada with papers proving that this is actually genuine child spine. You can buy them from licensed companies. They receive human specimens donated to medicine.
Like, it's one thing to have castings, like a skeleton, but then it's another thing to think you can capitalize on it. I can make a whole business off the people who fetishize human body parts. I saw that and I thought that was interesting, that the two things that have been massively propagated in the last 18 months has been AI's takeover of our civilization
and children,
which is really strange. I don't know if that's a correlation, but something's going on.
Designer who made a bag from a human spine. Indonesian designer Arnold Putra is a wealthy fashion designer known for his controversial creations made from human bones. He has designed a jacket made of ribs and gloves crafted from finger bones. Not stopping there, Arnold has also used materials like crocodile leather in his designs. He gained attention for visiting tribes around the world, which led to speculation that he sourced human bones this way. Police discovered a package addressed to Arnold containing a human hand and 3 placentas. After an investigation, it was revealed that these items were obtained from an anatomy laboratory, and the professor who shipped them was arrested. Despite the outrage, Arnold claimed that only the bag made from a human spine and the jacket made from rib bones were real, while the other designs were fake. He stated that the bones he used were legally purchased from Canada.
So we heard that, right? So this goes back to something that I mentioned before, where there are certain occults and and different things directly out there that some people are either oblivious to or just want to completely just ignore or whatnot or whatever. There's other things directly within that I've talked about, and I've highlighted stories dealing with some of the most vulnerable within our societies and different things of that nature. The rich like to play with a lot of stuff. And the rich like to publicize it in a variety of ways, of which that only they can, in a sense, understand. Because, like I said, it's a big giant party. Well, it's a small party. And you're not invited, right? The top 1 to maybe 2% are invited, and the rest are not. We're just looking up at the glass ceiling, seeing everybody just like dance and party and do all this other type of stuff. And a lot of people wish that they were them. They wish that they could just get a little bit in there to, hobnob and do all this other type of stuff. But like I said, you got to do a lot of things in order to be there. And these are some of the things that have been talked about before, or you have people talk about, like sacrifices and all this other type of stuff. Yeah, this is pretty much lines up with that as well. Because this dude also has a picture that I was able to find online. You probably can't see it. I mean, you probably have to like zoom in. But he has a picture with two prominent people in the fashion industry at this moment in time that have been around, celebrities and whatnot or whatever. The lady to the left is pretty much known as like a witch for all intents and purposes, and the things that she does and yada yada yada. You'll happen to see her in some pictures with a lot of celebrities like ASAP Rocky or Rihanna or Jay-Z and all these other type of high profile individuals. The same thing as the white guy that's in the ski mask, right? But yeah, like I tried to tell people before, like the stuff that I happen to tell y'all about or to try to make y'all aware of, I'm doing that for a very specific reason. I'm doing it the best way I can. I mean, other people, got way more information and can elaborate, a lot more on it. But like I said, this stuff is real, but it's just that people don't want to see it. Everybody want to, oh, that's just like nobody's out here doing this, and what proof do you have? And that you literally got this Asian dude who is a high class fashion. Again, I've never heard of this dude, but I do have his website directly up, and still looking around to try to find some some other types of things, because I'm looking at some of the jewelry, and the jewelry might look a little bit weird when it deals with that. Some of the gold jewelry looks a little bit um odd to an extent. Like they got some weird jewelry on here where it's like these type of like faces in the circle, like it's a ring, and different stuff like that. Like I said, it's some stuff. It is some stuff. So I would not put it past. Oh, he got like 56 pages. I have to spend some time looking through this. See, that'd be something I'll probably do a video and cover a little bit later on, going through some of this stuff here. Trying to see. And like I said, there's a lot of things that have a lot of occult symbolism directly in there. They like to do the whole thing with the pyramid, eye of Horus, the all-seeing eye, all of that, type of good stuff, doing a whole angle of, covering the eye and different things of that nature. You can see that with a lot of celebrities as well. Like I said, it's not a coincidence when you see a lot of these celebrities, dressing with certain, symbols, or doing certain, hand gestures and all this other type of stuff. Like I said, it's a whole thing. It is a whole thing attached. Because one of the necklaces, if I can go back to the image, you would probably have to zoom it up on your own time, but the necklace that he's wearing looks like the image of the head of like a child with like some fingers underneath the chin of the head. Like I said, it looks real weird. Real weird. Tippy said maybe he's lying for attraction viewers. That's real. No, it ain't. It's not a lie, because you can look it up. They got the story. They got stories directly up there dealing with it. Like this was how far back is this? What's the name? Because it says designer Arnold Pultra selling ethically sourced human child spine bag. No, it's real. That is a real thing. Like people sat up there and wrote full on articles and everything. Like I said, you got people out here doing stuff. Like I said, unbeknownst to a lot of people, you got people doing stuff in some cases is directly right out there in the open. But you can happen to look them up yourself. Arnold Putra. Like I said, dude got an IG and all that other type of stuff. Might be able to, look up some other stuff. It's crazy. Diabolical work. Diabolical. Radio said probably gold covered baby bones. Yeah. Tippy said, dude, he's not poor. He's sitting next to that demonic fashion designer. They like throwing parties and yeah, I got another picture of the same fashion designer where they are drinking. They're taking like a spoon. I'm not sure what type of liquid that was, but they had like a live model inside of this box with this liquid that was looking kind of like red and oily. And yeah, like I said, it's a lot of weird stuff. Lot of weird stuff. It's crazy work. Crazy stuff. Somebody said he should be arrested. I mean, I guess that depends on the country. Tippy said he was spine back. Not surprising at all. They love exploiting children. Yeah. Yep. He said he comes from a poor country and he has to make money. What are you talking about? I'm not even sure what you're even advocating for, or what you. Yeah. Let me see. Hold on. Yeah, I feel like you just talking just to talk at this moment. Yeah, Tippy. Sometimes you just got trolls or people that just like say some stuff just because. Like some people who roll up in the comment section, they'll treat it like Twitter. Like, all right, so like Tippy, like the main reason, because I would see this directly in the comment section. A lot of people like, yo, Seiji, why are you blocking out their names? Because a lot of people get paid off of rage bait or saying certain things so that they can get engagement directly off of X. So I block out the names because I'm like, you ain't about to be getting that from my side. I'm not sending nobody over there to go, search you up and engage and do all of this. Like I said, because I know how the game is played. I'm not doing that. Not doing that at all. So, you'll have certain people that'll pull up to the scene, doing the same thing. Like, what was the dude, Bart Simpson? I was just in here. I had to sit up there and just like block the Bart Simpson dude, just saying anything in the comment section for like no reason. I'm like, dog. I'm like, that's crazy. 100% diabolical. But yeah, like I said, it's crazy out here, and hopefully people will, pay attention to some of the things directly out here. But yeah, that is pretty much it, guys. That is that's pretty much it. That's all I wanted to go over and talk about at this moment of time. Shout out to any and everybody that pulled directly through to the live stream. Shout out to is it what happened? Much love, respect, and appreciation to all of those folks directly out there who also pull up to the scene and donate a variety of ways directly to the channel. Love you guys a lot and everything of that such. Shout out to all of as D Money would say, shout out to all the regulars. Shout out to all of the members of the channel. Shout out and much love to all of the moderators, to everybody that's a part of the Patreon, and people who have donated in other ways as well. Much love, respect, and appreciation, because I would not be able to do what it is that I do without people, like you. And shout out to a lot of y'all that happen to pull through and show up to like the videos and different things of that nature when I post them on the channel as well too. So put that directly out there. Relevant Love says save the children. Yeah. Yep. D Money sitting up there pulling a tip. He said acknowledge that. That's crazy. That is crazy. That's crazy. Much love, respect, and appreciation. You said what? You said I'm not rage baiting, guys. I'm partaking in the civilized conversation. I mean, I pointed out the Bart Simpson dude. Well, y'all probably didn't see him because I got him, I guess, like early, so y'all didn't happen to see him. But yeah, I don't know. It was like, it was just some of the stuff that you was saying. I'm like, huh? I'm like, man, I ain't trying to, do no what ifs with people like this. I'm talking about the people that's pictured. It's like there's no what ifs with these people. Like you have to, in order for you to actually understand what this is, like you got to do some research on these people. Like none of these people are broke. All of these people got money. Like they are up there in the high class fashion world. Like they do any and everything when it deals with fashion. Like, trust me, like some of the stuff they be doing over there in Europe, I'm like, what is this? I'm like, how is this fashion? I'm like, they're wearing Ziploc bags, basically strutting naked, and y'all call this fashion? I'm like, yo, this is crazy. It's crazy word. Diabolical. Crazy stuff out here, but it be like that. Anyways, the brother is hungry at this moment in time. We've been going for about 2 hours and 27 minutes, almost like 2 hours and 30. I'm hungry. I'm pretty sure other people are, because it's about like 8:10 right now. Didn't even realize. So y'all go out there and go have y'all some food. Get your feng shui, directly in order. Order some food from Ubers or something like that. Again, I don't get no type of money from saying that consistently. I don't get nothing. But like I said, I'm a food guy, so food basically makes me feel better. So I'm pretty sure that works for a lot of other people too. Maybe it's ice cream for you. I don't know. But go out there and do something, catch up on an animated show, read a book. A few pages a day will keep dementia away. I don't know. Maybe I might make it a thing on a t-shirt. But yeah, go out there and do that. Again, love you guys a lot. Thank you guys for being here. And got radio up here laughing. And Radio said ice cream. Yeah, I had Twix ice cream downstairs. I finished that off though. So technically, I would need like some Dairy Queen or something to get like a Blizzard burger and fries or something like that, or a shake. Dark Titans said fashion sometimes are weird for centuries and decades. GW said fashion is subjective. Yeah, yeah. GW said it keeps the dyslexia away. Yeah, yeah, that's true. Page a day keeps the dyslexia away. That's true. That's true. All right, all right, all right. Radio said that do sound good. Tusk said face reveal. Wait, I'm a little bit confused. Face reveal for who? For who? For who? I don't know what you're talking about. If you're talking about for me, you would just have to do your research and go back and you can find videos of me with my face. I mean, I'm not sure why face reveal would be a thing. It's a little bit weird, but yeah. It's a little bit weird. Little bit weird. But yeah. Love you guys a lot. Catch you guys later. And I will see you guys in the next live stream and or video. Peace out.